Our products are organically sourced natural healthy foods from Nigeria, West Africa, sourced directly from the small local farmers. At Naturalike, we believe what you put in your body and on your body can dramatically impact your health and well-being. Boost your energy levels and satisfy your cravings with a healthy dose of natural sweetness from our products. We're excited to help lead African foods and products into the global health and wellness markets. Follow us on Instagram at Naturalike, on Facebook at Naturalike LLC, and YouTube at Naturalike TV. These organically sourced foods are available at our Amazon store, amazon.com/Naturalike. Email us at naturalikeproducts@gmail.com.
Peace, family. We are live again on this beautiful Monday afternoon, guys. Spring is finally here. We had a very nice weekend weather-wise. And now the climate today, the weather today is nice. It's nice. It's sunny. It's in about the high 70s, low 80s. So it's perfect spring weather. Before we get started, you know the drill. Hit the like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe, everyone. I would greatly appreciate it. I appreciate your support. You know what to do. You know what to do. Couple of announcements before, let me bring this closer. Couple of announcements before we get started. We have three spots left for, hold on, get this focus back in. I don't know why it does. I guess it's time to get a new camera. There we go, bam. We have 3 spots left for Nigeria. We have 3 spots left for Nigeria for the Oshun Festival Tour, August 4th through the 13th, August 4th through the 13th. We're going to have an awesome time, excellent time in Nigeria. I will greatly appreciate it. Again, I will greatly appreciate it. Go to danfo.africa. Check out the site. Sign up for our mailing list so you can stay up to date. In fact, everyone who's watching this, when you watch this, your call to action is to visit danfo.africa. That's DANFO.Africa. Guys, I'm thinking about changing it to danfo.xyz. I have the domain. No, we're going to keep it danfo.africa. So go to danfo.africa. All right. Sign up for the mailing list so you can stay up to date on what's going on, our upcoming tour. So we have 3 spots left for Nigeria. That's August 4th to the 13th. Then we got Safari Blue, September 22nd through October 1st. September 22nd through October 1st. That is Zanzibar. Safari. Do you still do those great interviews with Kala Genesis? You know what? I need to bring Kala back on. If you guys want Kala on, no problem. I'll bring Kala back on. In fact, I'm going to text Kala. I'll text him here in a second. I was about to text him right now. Yeah, no problem. We can bring Kala back on. I know he's usually free on Wednesdays. So we could bring Kala on a Wednesday and, you know, go from there. So Safari Blue, September 22nd through October 3rd. We have 5 spots left for the Zanzibar tour. Again, we have 5 spots left for Zanzibar. Please visit danfo.africa to learn more. Let's jump into today's topic. So what I do, when you guys leave comments, I read the comments. I read the questions. So I'm going to start focusing on doing more response videos to the questions and comments that are left on my videos. So one of the questions asked or comments made was the amount. If you guys don't know, I know when it comes to Nigeria, sometimes as far as the news that's coming out of Nigeria, it's a lot of doom and gloom. It's a lot of doom and gloom. But I travel to Nigeria about 4 times a year. I'll actually be in Nigeria again next month. So after I take my group to Senegal for the Jazz Festival, I'm going to head to Nigeria. And after I take my group to Senegal for the Jazz Festival, I'm going to head to Nigeria. And the situation on the ground is not as doom and gloom as it is from Western media. Again, there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of infrastructure projects, investments. There's a lot going on in Nigeria. And we have to remember, Nigeria is the blackest, wealthiest. In fact, you know what? Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick while I was on my mind. I pulled this up. By 2075, I think Nigeria is, what's that? Is going to be the fifth, is projected to be the fifth largest economy in the world. Here we go. Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs. Here we go. Let me pull this up. Let's give me a second. And we might do a separate video on this. Goldman Sachs projects Nigeria to become the world's fifth largest economy by 2075. Again, Goldman Sachs projects Nigeria to become the world's fifth largest economy by 2075. So when we talk, and here's the shift. Here we go. So Goldman Sachs projects Nigeria to become the fifth largest economy in the world by 2075. And one second, let me stop, pause. This is not investment advice. Please do your own research. Let me give this disclaimer. One more time. Allow me to give this disclaimer one more time. Loud and clear. This is not investment advice. Please do your own research. You know, me, I'm Omo Niger all the way. I'm betting on Nigeria. But Nigeria isn't for everybody. I realize that. So I just want to put that out there. Goldman Sachs has projected that Nigeria, the most populous African country, will become the fifth largest economy in the world by 2075. This translated to Nigeria overtaking the like of Germany, Russia, and Japan in 52 years' time. Guys, the future is Africa. The future is Nigeria. Nigeria is the giants of Africa. Nigeria is the wealthiest, blackest, strongest nation. I'm sorry, wealthiest, blackest, we'll say strongest too in Africa. And some might say, well, it's South Africa, because currently right now, Nigeria is number 4, their GDP on the continent. So they dropped from 1 to 4. And I believe South Africa is like either second or third. But we have to understand the economic situation in South Africa in regards to who controls the economy of South Africa. The reality is, in Nigeria, it's Nigerians. In South Africa, it's the Europeans. which are now South Africans, which are considered South Africans, but indigenous Nigerians control Nigeria. Non-indigenous South Africans control South Africa, whether it be Indians or those of European descent. So that's why I say Nigeria is the blackest, wealthiest country on the planet. Okay. In the report on Monday, the American multinational investment bank and financial services company forecast that China will be the world's biggest economy with 57 trillion. India is expected to be the second with 52.5 trillion. The United States to be third with 51.5 trillion. And Indonesia to come fourth with 13.7 trillion. Nigeria with 13.1 trillion will be the only country on a dark continent. Why it got to be the dark continent? I mean, come on, Vanguard. And this is I believe Vanguard is a Nigerian publication too. I believe. Am I right? Yeah, Vanguard, Nigeria. Or this is the Nigeria section of it. On the dark continent, among the top 15 as forecast by Goldman Sachs. The country is still faced with economic security challenges that could mar its growth by President Bola Tinubu's administration has vowed to address these issues to put Nigeria on the path to economic growth and development. Nigeria's gross domestic product, GDP, grew by 2.31% year on year in real terms in the first quarter of 2023. All right, and guys, I posted a video from the governor of Lagos saying that Lagos is going to be the financial hub of the world. Again, Lagos is going to be the financial hub of the planet. Now, it's 2075, but we have to start preparing ourselves and preparing for our future now. It's not about us. It's about our children's children, our grandchildren. That is what this is about. And I am betting big on Nigeria. I don't care what people say. I don't care what the media says. I don't care about the corruption and this, that, and the other. I am betting big on Nigeria because I know what's coming down the pipeline. I already know. I already know what's coming down the pipeline. And I saw this the first time when I went to Nigeria in 2018. I said, this is it. Don't get me wrong. I love my Sierra Leone. I love Senegal, but I am betting big on Nigeria. And the numbers and the facts are there to back it up. Now, to get to the question, why aren't African Americans? What was the No. His exact question or statement was, why isn't Nigeria inviting African Americans to come and invest in Nigeria? Now, there's some tables and conversations I'm not privy to. So it could be a situation where they are. Excuse me. And I just don't know about it. Again, it could be a situation where they already are. And I just don't know about it. But you have to understand, I hate to say it, but the black people, black Americans, we follow trends. And what's trending now is Ghana. Again, what's trending now is Ghana. Is Ghana. Followed by South Africa. Followed by Kenya. But what I responded to the individual who said, why aren't Black Americans being invited or coming or as interested in investing in Nigeria as other countries, I said, you don't need an invitation. You don't need an invitation. Well, you kind of do need an invitation in order to get a visa, but you don't need an invitation to go and explore on your own. You don't need an invitation from the government. There we go. You do not need an invitation from the Nigerian government to go and make moves in Nigeria. I haven't done anything with the government in Nigeria. Again, you don't need an invitation. Just go. I mean, you don't need an invitation from the government. Just go and make moves. Can you own land legally? Yes, you can. You can own land legally in Nigeria. Guys, I'm gonna put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in and if you got any questions, please ask them. But again, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. Again, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. Right. ShopRites in Nigeria. What other South African what other South African countries are in Nigeria? Yeah, but it's the largest economy. And there was let me see if I can find this guy. Hold on. No, no, Simp, it depends where. You can own land freehold in Nigeria. It isn't like Ghana. Now, Ghana is a leasehold country. Nigeria, depending on where you buy the land, you can own it freehold. Ghana is a leasehold. Nigeria, you can own it freehold. Just it depends where you buy it or from who. I've been to a grocery store. I've been to ShopRite in Nigeria. I've been to a couple grocery stores in Nigeria. The grocery stores are just like here in America. The grocery store, ShopRite in Nigeria, and I forgot, and Hutmart. I don't know why they shut Hutmart down. Hutmart was owned by indigenous Nigerians. It's just like Kroger. But what makes it different and better is everybody rants and raves about Publix and their hot food, where you go buy hot food from. The deli sandwiches or whatnot. Now it's ShopRite and what was formerly Hubmart, but they're shut down now. Their hot food aisle section where you could get food to eat off the chain. Publix has nothing on ShopRite's and formerly Hubmart's. What would that be considered? Not cafeteria. I guess you could say cafeteria. Would that be the correct term? Well, Nightingale, like I said, it's not for everybody. Okay, it's not for everybody. Like I said, do your own research. Go explore. See, Black Beauty actually agrees with me. Facts 90, ShopRite hot food is how I eat daily, especially after the gym. There you go. Deli. Okay, there we go. Deli. Cafeteria, deli. That's what I meant, deli. The deli in ShopRite and the deli in Hubmart off the chain. It's crushing Publix. It's crushing Publix. But I'm going to put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in, please click on the link. Link is in the chat room. You are more than welcome to call in and add to the Publix hot food is good. I used to live off the deli sandwiches from Publix. Yeah, so guys, links in the chat room. Please call in, add to the conversation. We'll love to have you. You know, add to the discussion. But at Nam, you do make a great point. You know, African Americans, when we go to Africa, for some reason we choose small economies for some reason. You know, Gambia, um, Rwanda. So we choose for some reason small economies, which I don't know. ShopRite sold me an egg sandwich when I was low for the equivalent of 30 cents, maybe less. Yeah. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Sorry, good evening, Chris Diners. Thank you so much for having me once again.
No problem.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. So thank you. What a wonderful conversation here. Actually, the question is something that has been popping up in the minds of so many people. In Africa, while African Americans will choose Ghana, these smaller economies over a bigger country like Nigeria. Well, when I did my research, I discovered that African Americans have been coming to Nigeria. I remember Beyonce and Jay-Z came to Nigeria in 2006. Even in Nigeria, there's a street named Shonkata Street, Shonkata Road in Kwara State. It's named after Jay-Z and Beyonce. They were in South Africa first, and they came to Nigeria. So Jay-Z said he doesn't like South Africa, that he loves Nigeria more, probably because it's an all-black nation. So African Americans have been kind of, drawn towards Nigeria. Even people like, I think Kanye West, 50 Cent was in Nigeria in
Mhm.
the early 2000s. So recently the problem is with Nigeria. Nigerian government has not really been as proactive as they ought to be. That's what I think, and over time, because the West has always want to counter any big economy in Africa. So what they do is they try as much as possible to sabotage these countries. Nigeria, mostly Nigeria. Before the previous election, before Buhari came in, Nigeria was the fastest growing economy in the world. So I think there are lots of external, attempt to sabotage the economy, and it has greatly affected Nigeria. As a Nigerian, since the past 8 years, we've been performing so poorly, and I don't think it's enough to attract, the Black America. But I'm so happy that they're in Africa. They would find out themselves what Nigeria can offer them. So I'm not really against Black Americans for not coming to Nigeria, because they are missing a lot. Because if I believe that if they had come to Nigeria, they would have gotten more opportunities in Nigeria, because we have Hollywood industry, we have
Right.
Nollywood, we have the movies, we have everything, we have the infrastructure. I believe
Right.
that they would have gotten more, and they
And
would be
and
less
music and music.
in music.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So
Nigeria is the cultural and musical capital
of
of
of Africa.
of Africa. Exactly.
Yeah. So I just feel that also Black Americans are also misinformed. That's another thing I noticed also. There's a lot of misinformation about Ghana wasn't supposed to be it, because if you look at the frustration from them in Ghana, Ghana is not really enough to house that kind of influence. Although it's a good country, but Nigeria would have been an easier place to take off. So, but I don't blame them. I blame Nigeria also. In the past 8 years, we've been doing so poorly, performing so poorly. But I hope that in the next coming years, it will be better, and there will be much more influence. I can't wait to have Black Americans also in Nigeria. It's a very beautiful. Nigeria has a lot of beautiful places. We go to Obudukato Ranch, go to not far than it's a very beautiful place. But as time goes on, and the issue of land laws in Ghana, that you're being asked to leave land in Ghana. If you were to be Nigeria, I'm not sure you have such issues. Nigeria is like the hub of Africa. So I just hope that there's a change, and let's see what happens. So thank you
Right.
for having me.
No problem. No, guys, Ghana has the blueprint in regards to how to attract African Americans to Africa. Ghana did a great job with the year of return. I don't care how you feel about Ghana. And I've been trying to get Nigeria to follow that same blueprint, but they're not for some reason. They refuse to, because Nigeria has the infrastructure, the hotels, the hospitality is there. So Nigeria can handle the same, even more, a bigger influx of the diaspora coming to Africa than even Ghana. But for some reason, I don't understand why Nigeria won't have a formal uh year of return like Ghana. But so
Yeah,
we can't minimize what Ghana has done. They've done a
yeah,
great
yeah,
job. Gotta
yeah.
admit that.
I agree with you also. I also blame my country, because if you look at Nigerian politics, it lacks a lot of awareness. The political class are not really people who think futuristically. They weren't like that in 2015. I don't know why they are becoming like that. We had plans to get the first man on the moon by 2030. I don't think it's achievable again, because lots of corrupt. Look at the Boko Haram issue. Look at religious violence. If have you been to Jos Nigeria? Jos is like Europe. That's European weather. Very beautiful place. So I just hope that we're able to get it right, and let's see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't. But even with the some of the issues with Nigeria, it's not stopping um, Nigeria from moving forward. With a lot of these projects going on.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
infrastructure, especially infrastructure. I mean, you have the third mainland bridge. The fourth is
yeah,
on the way. You have the train now.
yeah,
So Nigeria is preparing itself. You have the coastal highway that's coming. Just it's
yeah,
unfortunate landmark,
yeah.
but it's on its way.
Yeah, but like I said, it has to do more with the ideologies. Ideologies are not really aligning. We didn't used to have this religious clash like we have with the North, the Muslim Christian. So it kind of affects a lot is really going on.
But there is
So
no, hold on, sir. Let me kick in. There is no religion crash. See,
Hey, Nigeria first. There's like wind or something in the background. I don't know if your fan is on.
okay, yes, the fan.
Yeah, if
The
you can
weather
if
is
you can turn that if you can turn that off, it's just it's
the weather is hot.
yeah.
Very hot.
One man went. I need to see your face first before I let you back on, because your profile pic is very
No, no,
sus.
what? No, 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 no. One man is a YouTuber, so allow him to come in. He's a. I
Okay,
know.
okay, okay. Yeah, his
Yes.
that profile pic is very sus, one man. But go ahead, Nigeria first.
Yes. See. The issue of religion in Nigeria, it has been there for ages. Just that because of the advent of social media, now it's being overly publicized. You understand me? Most time it is like it happened to both sides. Both sides are involved in the clash. You understand me? But you see, in Nigeria, when things happen, we don't look at the both side of the issue. We just, we take side immediately and start running with it. So that's the issue. But the issue of security is not that widespread. Just here and there, some few places. That doesn't mean people cannot invest or build businesses in Nigeria. At least people are already there doing that. But there's other area. You have places like Akwa Ibom, very peaceful. You have Port Harcourt, you have Ondo State, you have Ekiti, You have other state, Edo State, my state. There's no crime or killings here. So there are other places that are free. You can do your business, but people are just so fixated on the little clashes in the north and generalize with everything. So I think those who are ready to invest in the country, they should come visit and see things for themselves and evaluate the situation. And if the environment is good for them to invest, they should invest. So that's my opinion.
Yes, yes, sir, guys. Links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in, please click on the link. If you're going to call in, please click on the link. Link is in the chat room. Come and add to the conversation. Like I said, I think Nigeria is in fact, not think, I know Nigeria is a great landing spot, but once again, it's not for everybody. Once again, it is not for everybody. Nigeria first. Are you currently in Nigeria?
Yes, I am. I'm in the two states. Yeah. Yes, I am in
You say
Nigeria.
you're in Nigeria or you're in the States?
No. I'm in Nigeria. I'm in Edo State. My state, Edo, Benin.
Edo, you're in Edo. Okay, good. Okay. Nigeria first. Have you been keeping up with the coastal highway and some of the
Yes,
controversy behind it?
yes. Already commenced. I think they are going to.
They've already started demolishing on Landmark. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. They already. I think they are going to compensate some people. However, I think the landmark actually built a beach on the government property. You understand me? Because
Okay, now, people have been saying that. Do you have any proof that before the owner acquired that land, that he knew it was government property?
See, no, if you look at Nigerian law, anything close to the sea belongs to the federal government.
Right. You're right about that, because it's the same with Sierra Leone. It's like from the water or coastline, like
Yes,
maybe like 20 or 30 meters or 50 meters, something like that.
yes, it
On the
belongs to
beach,
the
yeah.
federal government straight up. You cannot do anything there. That's the law. So, and the thing is that people are just complaining because of just one business. They have forgotten that if the project actually commence and complete, that will open up the economy. You understand me? It will open economy in a very faster pace, because now people will start building resorts, hotels, five-star hotels, all kinds of business along that way. You open the economy, you make things easy. People can actually travel from Lagos and go to Calabar to spend weekend and return back immediately without using flights. But people don't understand. They don't see the vision of that what that road is going to do for the economy. So you see, that's black people for you. Yeah, they don't see the potential. So they are thinking of now, but what that thing is going to do from between now till the next 20 years is going to be surprising.
Right. Because I know in America we have PCH, which is the Pacific Coast Highway that runs from San Diego or like all the way up to the Bay Area, and it's a beautiful drive. So when that road is officially open, I'm importing something drop top, and we starting in Legos top down, and we riding all the way to Calabar.
Thank you. And even the Obudukato Ranch in Calabar, that will breathe a new life to that resort there. There will be people will start going to that place. So what key that place is because one, yes, the government that built that infrastructure there was a bright leader. What he saw, that investment was wonderful investment. But because of previous leaders that came in, they didn't, follow up with the maintenance and how to run the resort properly. Or they would have just sold it to a private investor. I don't know. They just run it down. And that project cost the state almost $300 million for that resort. They just allow it to decay. It's crazy.
All right, guys. Links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room if you want to call in. We had there was one guy that was on here, and he dropped off, and then there was
Is it John or one?
Well, John dropped off, but there was the other guy with the weird profile pic.
One man went to move.
Yeah. His profile pic just looks, suspect, but it's whatever, man.
No, it's a YouTuber. It's a popular YouTuber. Maybe you don't know him.
Okay. Well, listen, one man went to moon. You're more than welcome to call back in. And if I offended you by talking about your profile pic, I apologize.
It's YouTube page. It discuss issue about social issue, politics, and all that stuff.
Okay.
But focus on Nigeria or mostly Nigeria stuff. Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Ayana says, "I've never been to Nigeria. I went first time there on your tour." Okay. One man is a Yoruba supremacist. Okay. Listen, no tribalism over here. No Oduduwa Republic and Oduduwa Republic. No Biafra. No. One Nigeria.
No, it's not. It's not part of those people. It's not.
Okay. So Nigeria first. What's going on in Edo State? I've never been to Edo State. What's going on?
See, okay, like you practice Africa spirituality. When you come to Edo State, you're going to. Okay, I will advise you to come in December because during December period, that's when we have this festival, New Young Festival. So then the Oba perform all kinds of different ritual, but not for killing, just different kinds of ritual. So then you see people, celebrating their spirituality during that period. So it's a wonderful place. Also, our governor just increased minimum wage for the people. I think yesterday. Yeah, that's good. That's good for everyone. So our state is in the right direction.
That's good.
Yes, because Lagos State increased minimum wage, and Edo State follows suit. So we always, our leader here, they always copy Lagos. Like whatever Lagos does, we also, follow the footsteps. So that was good.
Yeah. So, do you believe that Lagos was founded by Edo?
See, the traditional family in Lagos and in Edo State, they have there's a kind of a bloodline, like they are linked. You understand me? To with each other, but even the way we do things is very, very similar because we share border with Ondo State. And Ondo is a Yoruba state, so they are very similar in some certain aspects.
All right, go ahead, Delroy.
Hey, what's up, man? I was missing for a while, bro. I was in Florida. My mother-in-law passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, I was in Florida for a while, taking care of me and my wife. It was the main ones that had to take care of everything,
Okay.
Yes, I was away for a while. How's everything going?
Everything's going well. Can't complain.
All right, beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna chime in a little bit on the coastal highway and what I think about it from the little research that I did. When he first bought the land, he bought it because they told him that the highway was supposed to go, behind that area, behind Landmark. And so, that's one of the main reasons why he went ahead and bought the land. So, I mean, it's the government right to do the realignment later on. So they both right. The owner is right and the government is correct. And the government do own I think it's 250 meters from the water come up. I
Right.
think it's about 250 meters. They legally own that, But the hurtful part is because Landmark and other resorts in that same area. I mean, they put a lot of money into it, and they also employ a lot. I mean, at the end of the day, these people are going to get compensated for it. But what about the employees? It's not so much the owner, but because these people are millionaires. Let's face it, the Landmark owner is a multimillionaire. So at the end of the day, he's definitely going to be okay. But you still have thousands of employees that you have to worry about. Hopefully, this will, create. I mean, I know it will. I know it will create a whole lot more opportunities. But what I'm saying, the governments have to be outright, and these projects that's coming up, and just tell people, no, you can't buy this, you can't build there. It's too much tearing down. I mean, some of these people put especially in the communities, their life earnings in some of these homes, So it's up to the government, you can't blame it on the other government. That in the past government, they have to be forthcoming and listen. You cannot build here, we won't sell you this. Or if you build here, this is what's going to happen to you. So people know exactly what what to expect, I was making a suggestion on another couple other program. Of course, everybody jump on and see I'm wrong. For that particular area right there, because so much commercial value along Echo Atlantic and all that, it'll be more expensive. But why didn't they just tunnel like that area? It's probably about 1 or 2 kilometers. Go tunnel that area right there and go underneath just for that area. I mean, to destroy the everybody property and the beachfront, especially because it's tourism, and tourism is good for the economy overall. I mean, are they going to do to every beach area? You got to have beaches, so that's what I wanted to say about it.
But Delroy, so it's the same way in Sierra Leone, where the government owns a certain amount of the beach from the coastline, back. So
Right.
with that being commonly known, isn't the responsibility up to the people at Landmark to say, hey, this technically isn't ours and it can be taken away at any time?
But what I'm saying, what do you do if you want to develop resorts? Like, for instance, my country, Jamaica, it cannot live without tourism. All right. So the road or highway run alongside the beaches, behind the beaches. Or we have major highways that run alongside the beaches. So I mean, it could have been designed with that in mind. America, look at Florida. Florida, we have highways run up and down the beaches all over the United States. We have highways along the beaches because you have to have resorts. I mean, it's billions and billions of dollars of income from tourism. You see what I'm saying? Nigeria have to think more of tourism. They do not put enough in their tourism. They let things get run down like that farm they have in that beautiful place in the mount. I think it's Calabar or whatever. All these things run down because they're not putting enough in tourism. When tourism is going to generate billions and billions of dollars, those beautiful places up north like Josh and those places that I've seen in video, those places are absolutely beautiful in the mountain areas. They're not putting enough in tourism.
Sid Police, go ahead.
First things first, man, salute to your platform, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got your upcoming tours going on, man. I hope people, even if they don't invest in Africa, they invest in Africa. You get what I'm saying? So to go over there and see it with a guide, a lot of people we always talking about where we can get things done and where we can get things cheaper. You know, it ties into this whole conversation with your tourist company. You know, a lot of people, you were speaking earlier why people go to Ghana instead of Nigeria. Is because Ghana has a tourist commission. You know what I'm saying? They have ways that you can reach out. They have people, you know, they have plenty of people on YouTube that's willing to, if you come to them, you know, you can book their services to take you around. You get what I'm saying? So you have that outlet that's promoted by the government, that's promoted by the tourist commission in Ghana. Now, me personally, I would never go to Ghana. You get what I'm saying? But that's the Mende Timne in me. You get what I'm saying? I would never go to Ghana because Ghana is some slave dungeon representing like a museum / circus / eatery. None of that. You get what I'm saying? If my mama came out the grave right now and said, let's go to the slave dungeon, let's go visit Ghana, I'd knock her ass back in the grave. You get what I'm saying? Because I would never, ever understand how somebody can go walk in a room where your forefathers was shitting, pissing, being put in an area with the least amount of air, with no food, no water, to see which ones can die off and see which one that could survive a long trip being shackled down and stranded, shackled down on a boat. You get what I'm saying? It's nowhere in the world. How can the hell? Listen, I done been through a lot in the United States, Dynas, but I ain't never experienced nothing like what they went through. It ain't no type of way that now one of y'all uppity Negroes, I'm trying to be being politically correct now, is now one of y'all politically correct Negroes, you know what I'm saying, romanticizing by Africa, can go in one of them slave dungeons and touch one of those walls, feel that ground, and feel some type of connection. You know, at the end of the day, Black Americans live high off the hog. You know what I'm saying? You know, if the forefather could come down and see, it would be ashamed of us. It would be ashamed of us how we act towards each other. You get what I'm saying? For what they endure. You get, you know, we sit up and think like we make some type of magical prayers and we got some magical kneecaps, you know what I'm saying, that we get all these blessings and miracles. How you think they prayers was when they was on that boat? You don't think they prayers was pure? You get what I'm saying? They weren't even praying for a car or a female or a dude or a car note or a house or rent or a job. They were just praying to just be left alone. Can you imagine how much they prayed just to be released? Just let them go back to their families, go back to their countries. But we sitting up here in America, you know, arguing about, you know what I'm saying, reparations, you know what I'm saying, and black girl magic, you know what I'm saying, all this crazy, you know, nonsensical separation tactics. So then when you get to a thing of Black Americans coming to Nigeria, Nigeria has never, ever reached out to Black America. Because at the end of the day, Dynas, Nigerians are arrogant. Nigerians are arrogant. And
we can't. That's not.
Hold on. Let me get it. Listen.
Not at all. That's not been my experience. Okay.
Dynas, Nigerians will even tell you that. But they say it the same way I say it. It's arrogant, but not like they against anybody. It's that they're proud. You get what I'm saying? Like when you have a group of people that thinks that they can do anything and everything, it's perceived as arrogant. Sometimes people, when they're perceived to be the bad guy, Dynas, they go ahead and put the Joker mask on and say, okay, if I'm gonna be the bad guy, I'm gonna be the best bad guy you ever see. So it's the same thing with Hustle Smart. A lot of people think I'm arrogant. A lot of people don't. It doesn't matter what they think. I know the story that where I came from to now, so I'm gonna be boisterous. I'm gonna rep myself. You know, so I'm gonna push that all Black people need to be entrepreneurs. I'm never gonna accept a Black person saying that all Black people don't need to be an entrepreneur. That's just like the white people coming over there to Africa and saying all y'all are slaves. We don't care nothing about the kings, the queens, the elders. All y'all is slaves, and we gonna treat you as such. So what I'm saying is, you got to break that mold. But at the end of the day, you got certain areas in Nigeria that is just not tourist friendly. You got a big city like Benin that's not tourist city. So you talk about Calabar, which the other brother was right with the festival. You get what I'm saying? Because I have some people that I talked to in Asaba and Cross Rivers, and so they tell me about this. But they even tell me that after the festival, Dinus, it's not friendly there. It's not friendly there at all. It ain't good to go out at night. One thing, because I just left Kenya, the one thing that Americans will always focus on, because we're not just want to be daytime people, because that African heat ain't no joke, y'all. I'm telling you. I when I got back from Kenya, I see that I need to get back in the gym on the regular. You get what I'm saying? And I need to work out.
I try to warn you guys, you got to be in Africa shape.
You got listen. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't listen to nothing else that Dinah say, believe me, hustle smart, Mr. 6 bottles of water with lime, with natural limes from Costco that I put in my water every day. When I walked outside in Kenya in the daytime, I swear it almost like it took my breath away. I felt like the
hotter right now, right? Like West Africa and in the middle section of Africa is experiencing the hottest time they've had in like 10 years right now.
But you're right. But this is the thing, though. What I'm saying is they still built for it. You might see them. They might have a little bit of sweat dropping down, a little bit of moisture up under their arms. I was sitting up there huffing and puffing with my hands on my knees. You get what I'm saying? Like I felt like I was prey over there. I couldn't take 6 steps without grabbing a bottle of water. I was buying water everywhere. Dinah, I was literally buying water. By the time I walked down the street, the water was hot. The water was hot.
That's why they put it in the freezer in the morning. If you ever see it's in a block of ice in the morning, it's frozen.
They do that, but the people on the street, they sell it as it is. But what I'm saying is that Nigeria is focused on the middle down. Do you get what I'm saying? You would never. I don't care what Bloomberg News, what Kelly Conway, whoever has something to say. Nigeria is not going to be anywhere unless they get control over their north. They're not going to be until they get electricity over. The United States would not be what it is if they didn't have electricity in Podunk, Kentucky, also in greater states like San Francisco. You cannot just be, it cannot be a society, upgrade society in certain areas. So therefore, it's never gonna work. Even me, I'm trying to get me an apartment in Benin City. You get what I'm saying? That's where I'm focused on. But that's just a base. But everywhere, even the way that it is that you got to know somebody in there. That's the problem with Nigeria. So the person that got to be straight up with you. You can't afford to make any mistakes. So if the apartment that I'm looking for is 1.5 million, right? It's in a nice area, 24-hour electricity, borehole, everything, right?
Too low.
But listen, hold on for a second, Black Beauty. But what I'm saying is that it's still cheaper to get even if you're not going to be in Africa, but Nigeria, but 3 or 4 times a year, it's still cheaper to get an apartment because you're going to spend.
Hey, Sim, let me go. Like, if you can wrap it, I want to pass the Black Beauty then one man.
Got you covered. I'll wrap it up right here. You still got to have the people to set it up for you. So what I'm saying is that's the problem with Nigeria. When I went to Kenya, you can reach out. You can even travel at night in Kenya. You get what I'm saying? Everybody that I talked to, and I talked to people from Asaba, to Benin City, to Abuja, right up outside of Maraba. You know what I'm saying? They tell me that they cannot travel at nighttime. Even the taxis and the motos and the tricycle do not travel at nighttime. So that right there would throw Americans off because nobody want to be put in a position that they can only get around in certain parts of the day. And I pass the mic.
All right,
You
let me read this super chat real quick. I'll pass it to you, Black Beauty, and then I'm gonna pass it to you. One man went to the moon, I think. Yeah, Kenya is the only East African nation that is definitely better than all West African countries. Do your research. I disagree. Go ahead, Black Beauty,
I
respectfully.
would
Go ahead.
say like I've done a lot of night travel. I would say you could travel in between VI and Acacia at night, and if you know, especially at night, the bridge is free if you drive fast enough and your car is up to shape and you get across it. Don't break down on the bridge now. You don't want talc coming out. But it will be I will say like if you want to get a nice apartment, my friend does real estate. I have like a staff now. So if any of you want to get like apartments, I have a friend who does real estate. She's a born and bred Oshun girl, lives in Ikate, and we have a staff of people that we could call to set up your AC, get you your fridge. We have like places where you can get secondhand fridge because it seems like it would be a bad idea, but a lot of people come to live in Nigeria for 2 or 3 months and then they sell their stuff online. There's a couple Instagram shops where you can resell your bed and your furniture, and it's very nice stuff. Like I set up my Airbnb with that. I set up one of my apartments with that. So I've set up 3 flats already. I have AC guys that you guys could be using, electricians that you guys can be calling, and a bunch, like a list of people. Because that when you get in that apartment, nothing is in there. So you're gonna need to know exactly who to call, who's not gonna rip you off. You're gonna need to know who to set up your inverter. Like we have 2 guys that set up inverters for us. You're gonna need to know a lot of things. It's not plug and play unless you want to spend a lot on your apartment. If you spend a lot on your apartment and everything is the furniture's in there, you spend like 8 mil on your apartment, everything could be in there. But most apartments, if you're gonna spend, I would say no lower. Like one of my flats is 2 mil, another flat is 3 mil. I think that's decent for a mini flat. A mini flat is considered a 1 bedroom. A lot of people have like 1 bedroom if they're single or they're just them and their partner. They have 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms. If you're gonna bring your family, we know a bunch of people who do. One of my friends, he does a bunch of Airbnbs that are like 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms if you have a big family. So just reach out to me if you want, and I can plug you into some people so you can actually have a good experience when you come. Everything is in VI, everything is in Lekki. Kate is as far as we go. It's just you just have to know what you're doing when you come out there. You can't just come out there and be like, yes, I want to get this apartment. They're gonna be like, that's 10 mil for mini flat. They will get you if you don't know what you're doing. So they will get you for every dollar you have in your pocket if you don't know what you're doing. The best thing I did was like when I went on Dinah's trip, I stayed after that for like 2 or 3 months, and I made friends with a couple people at the mall. And then one of them, the money guy, that was my first friend that I made. He's actually in Canada now. He just got there last year. But the money guy that exchanged everybody's money, he introduced me to the real estate girl, and she's like my sister today. Literally, she looks just like me. She's my sister, and she will do everything for you. She will help you get your furniture set up. We have relationships with furniture places. So just hit me up, ablackbeautyYT@gmail.com, and I can share some contacts with you. And you just let them know that I sent you, and they'll give you good price, and they'll treat you nice too. We also have delivery people that can pick up your stuff. Let's say you buy a secondhand fridge from a place like a Jota. You want to have them go over there, pick it up for you, and bring it to your flat so you don't have to go pick it up, because there is no U-Haul, there is no budget truck or nothing like that. You're going to need somebody on the weekend to do that for you. We know those people also. So we have a list of things that we can help you with free of charge, and you can have a really good experience. We have good experiences, a lot of us. A lot of African Americans that I know that live, and I'm sorry, Dinus, the places you be taking us, most African Americans is not going to live there. Where I live is behind Access Bank by the palace. You understand what I'm saying? Where
but Black Beauty, my tours are focused on culture.
No, I'm not talking about your tour. I'm talking about after your tour, if people want to live.
She talking about living, Dinah. She talking about living, not
what I'm saying is after the tour is over.
Yeah, once the tour is over, hit me up if you're trying to stay.
Yeah. I mean, the tour is over.
Are you in Lagos, Black Beauty?
I'm in Victoria Island, Lagos, Oniru Estate, specifically behind the Access Bank. Yes, I am.
So this is when I looked at the apartments that I looked at in Benin City. What I did was I did a comparison with the square meters. I compared it to Lagos, that area that you're talking about. So for the same apartment that I saw in Benin City for 1.5, that would cost 2.5 in the area you're talking about.
That's decent. 2.5. That's no money. You know that's no money.
I understand that. What I'm just saying is, I'm just saying the type of what I'm talking about is that people that's come there and they just want to. If they're gonna come there 2 or 3 times a year, they should get an apartment. You get what I'm saying?
I didn't like, for example, when I first got my first flat, it was 1.8, and it wasn't the best flat, but I hooked it up. I did a lot of changes. I've done real estate before, so we really hooked it up. That was my very first flat. But then after service charges, it became 2.3. My other flat was 2.5, and then the third one was 3 mil. So what I'm saying is that, let's say you come for a month. Let's say you come for Dutchy December, and you want to stay in Echo Hotel. For a month, you end up spending, if you spend 130 each night, 140 each night, you end up spending.
You're gonna spend $4 million.
Yep, about 5 million. You end up spending 4,200 something.
Yeah.
But if you get the apartment now, you end up spending 2.5 mil, so that's about 3,000, and then you have it all year, so you can come back and forth all year.
Exactly. See, now we're speaking the same language.
Let me pat one man. Let me read the super chat. And I'll pass it to one man. Point is, there are multiple West African nations that are better than East African nations. Stop the hyper generalizations. I'm a West African guy, so I'm going to be biased towards West Africa. I'm not East Africa or South Africa or Central Africa or North Africa guy. West is the best. There we go. Go ahead, one man went to Mo.
Well, you're a Yoruba prince. Are you not a dynast? I saw you coronated in one of your yes, thanks for having me, Dynast. I only came in because of the St. Police Academy. I'm not quite sure what narrative is putting forward. He was saying Nigeria is too hot. I'm not quite sure what that means. Have you been to the Middle East? Have you been to Dallas? I mean, what does that even mean?
It is hot as hell. That's what's like. They haven't record. They haven't record. What are you talking about?
Well, if I can interject, Simplice, I'll tell you right now, the hottest place I've ever been to was Omaha, Nebraska, 1999 during the summertime, and then I would say that and when I was in Dogon country in Mali, but Omaha, Nebraska, 1999. Was by far the most hottest humid place I've ever been to. Then was in Mali when I was in Dogon country.
That's true, Dynast, but even in America, our seasons change. You get what I'm saying? Like this, the hot weather that they're going on in Nigeria right now is they're going on for 3 months straight. Like people are sleeping on the floor.
Hold on, settle down one moment. The seasons don't change in Nigeria. Is that what you're saying? Have you been to Nigeria first?
No, I'm not saying that the season don't. No. I'm not saying that the season. Brian, you asking me a question and then I'm start answering, then you start talking. So do you want to ask me a question and then talk over me, or do you want to?
I want to ask you a sequenced 2 questions interlinked, and then have you been to Nigeria? That's the one. And then do the seasons not change in your experience? So those
seasons. First of all, listen. I'm definitely not the smartest knife I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I'm not gonna answer stupid questions. You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that right now I just left Kenya. You get what I'm saying? It was hotter in Nigeria than it was in Kenya, and the funny part is I was actually cracking a joke at myself. So I don't even understand how you took that the wrong way. I was cracking on myself, saying that I wasn't in Africa shape, but it is hot as shit right now. We even had the brother that was on the show right now. He's sitting up there in the heat on the floor with a fan on. So what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is what you're trying to ask me a question about is not what the people are saying. We just had a brother on the show with the fan in the background. And the first thing came out his mouth when Dynast asked him why he got the fan on. He said that it's so hot. His exact words. So it doesn't matter what you saying. Right. Those are the words that he's saying. But go ahead and continue, my brother.
I wasn't really asking for a long and extended response. It's just a snapshot, response that would have done. You have made me lose my train of thought now. You also said you were going to get an apartment in Benin for 1 something million. Is that to buy or to rent?
It's to rent.
For a year.
Yes, that's the only way you can do it.
And you consider that expensive?
No, I do not.
All right, brilliant. I wasn't really sure what narrative you were putting forward, but really, the conversation that made me come in, the conversation earlier about Nigerians not especially reaching out to African Americans, and you were saying somewhat that Nigerians are
True.
arrogant for doing that.
Yeah, they don't reach out. They don't reach out. They don't have a tourist. They don't have a tourist reach out program in Nigeria for Black Americans.
No, they don't. But they have a welcoming arm, though, as I'm sure.
No. See, now you're not making any sense. That doesn't make no sense. That doesn't make no sense. That's just like me going in the hood in Compton, California, and saying, "Hey, man, you know we don't have no community outreach, but we got a welcoming arm." See, at the end of the day, brother, in America, we have gotten tired of the African folk tales, like saying if two elephants is fighting, the grass is the one that get hurt. You saying that somebody has a welcome, or are you joking? It is TIA. This is Africa. This is Nigeria. If you don't know the right people and you don't make the right choices, who you deal with the first time, just like Black Beauty, they will take you for everything you got. Nigeria is one of those. Listen, I don't have no problem with it. Nigeria just does not welcome out. Does not reach out to Black America for tourists. And you actually, by your own words, you said that they don't.
Do they have to? They don't have to. And you saying if you don't know the right people, then you get ripped off. Is that not the experience of travel? So
I don't even know what you're arguing about, because we're saying it's almost like you're saying something and we're saying the same thing. We're saying that the original topic was, why don't Black Americans invest? And the reason why Black Americans is not going to invest in a country that doesn't reach out. And your response is, no, they don't reach out, and no, they don't have to. So then by that logic, then Black Americans is not going to go where you don't reach out and you don't have to reach out. That shows a person. I don't understand. I don't know if you operate a business or anything, but you got to be welcoming. You get what I'm saying? I work in what you call international shipping, so I have to deal with customers. I take them out to eat. You get what I'm saying? I show them around Atlanta, and they still might not do a contract with me. But customer service is key to want somebody to invest. So I might take these people around in Atlanta, buy them something to eat. I might not get the contract this time, but if they talk to somebody else, they might refer me. But you got to put on the customer service face from the jump. Dynast came from sales. I am in sales. I'm my own product, the same way Dynast is his own product, the same way Black Beauty is her own product. If Black Beauty can be the ratchetest hood rat if she want to be inside her flat, but when it's time for her to conduct business, she's gonna have to put on the smile. She's gonna have to put on the shirt with the bra that pushes the boobs up and be nice and respectable and cute.
Let me plug my business. My business is called Highland Living NG. So if you guys need any information about how to set up your flats, or if you need a flat, email is ablackbeauty.
Are you in Nigeria now?
I'm not, but I will be in like a week. It's ablackbeautyyt@gmail.com. Thank you.
All right. Let me just say this and then I'll bill. Nigerians don't. Nigeria and Nigerians, they don't especially have to reach out to anybody. So they're not obliged to.
We do have Nigerians. We're talking about African Americans that want to come to Nigeria and need help setting up. That's what this.
Oh no, not your business. I'm talking about in response to Police Academy. Who feels that Nigerians have to especially court him like he was a babe or something? Nigerians don't have to reach out to anybody. But Nigerians have to be welcoming to everybody, and that's essentially what it is. I've not yet met anybody that has been to Nigeria and have not found it a life-changing experience. So it is up to you to find that hidden secret and then go to that place. And you saying that you are likely to get ripped off if you don't know somebody, then that is the experience globally. even if you go to whichever country, if you don't have a plug-in, you'll get ripped off. The taxi driver will charge you 10 times. The landlord will charge you 4 times. So it's a global experience. It's not unique.
And one man want to know where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria. I'm a Yoruba man.
And where you at right now?
I'm in Nigeria, in Yoruba
land.
Or
have you ever been to a quote unquote first world country?
Why would I want to? What's the first?
No, if that's think about it. Listen, don't be a contrarian. You asked me a direct question. I gave you a direct answer. So can you play like grown adults? You asked me a direct question. I gave you a direct answer. I didn't give you no fluff or no what about it. I didn't answer your question with a question. I'm just asking you, have you ever been to a first world country? It's just simple, yes or no.
Well, it doesn't interest me too, and it doesn't.
Okay, got you covered. So what I'm saying is, what you're saying doesn't make sense, because if you come to a first world country and you get off that plane, and if you can put a SIM card in your phone, you can connect the Uber Eats, Lyft, all type of stuff when you won't get charged. You can go to a bank. They got outreach program. They got assistant. First world countries are welfare state. That's why people. Why do you think people? Let me finish because you want to be snarky. So I'm trying to tell you the difference. In America, you have safeguards. You get what I'm saying? If you get your bank account, somebody rip you off, you can do a fraud account and get that fraud set up to get your money back. You get what I'm saying?
Let me interject. It depends on the bank.
Most banks,
man, Black Beauty
do though, Daddy. Come on, you doing that exception now?
No, hold on. Let me interject. Simp, I'm with a bank right now. I ain't gonna say the name here in Atlanta. Boy, when I have a fraud issue, they act like it's my fault.
Why you won't say the bank name?
Is it shitty bank?
I mean, I ain't gonna say the name.
What's the bank? See, that don't even make sense, Daddy. All you doing is saying the bank.
I don't want to call out the bank, Simp. I don't want to call out the bank.
Man, come on, man. You talking about a multi-billion-dollar company?
I can show them I did not make this charge, and they will. I had to sign. So when I went Bank of America, with Wells Fargo, I call in, hey, this is fraudulent. I got that temporary credit within 24 hours.
Right.
This bank right here. Boy, I better have a police report. I better have video footage. I better have this, that, and the other. I gotta go in there. I gotta walk in. I gotta sign paperwork, and that don't mean I'm gonna get anything.
Man, nobody ain't tell you to goddamn get an account with Southside Credit Union. You know what I'm saying? You can't be dealing with that. Now I bank with Bank of America. You get what I'm saying? So I have my investment I have my Roth IRA. You get what I'm saying? And I have my business account with Bank of America, and I also have Robbins Federal Credit Union. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, you have to use the banks to work for you. So far as my business where you seen the trick off fund credit card. That's with Bank of America. You get what I'm saying? So at any day, you get what I'm saying? I can call them and I have an instant line of credit because my credit score is so good. I have an 821 credit score. So therefore, they don't even ask me a question. If I hit fraud or whatever, it stops it right there. They cancel the card, they give me a call, and then they start reversing that money. That's first world problem. We all know that Black Americans.
I got to interject one more time, Sim. I got to interject one more time. They do have Uber and Legos.
But Access Bank, hold on. Let me say this. Access Bank, I had an issue. Access Bank was able to give me my money back, but it took them like 4 months. But they did get my money back, and it was
That's true.
It was like $1 million naira, but they got it back though. But it took about 4 or 5 months. Because what happens is they can't just pull it back and put a negative in the account. They gotta wait until the account is funded to get that money back. But once you put that money in the account and they waiting, they gonna take it back. So shout out to Access Bank.
Right. So,
simple. Can I say something simple?
And that's good.
Hey, Sim, let me pass it to Delroy, then I'm gonna pass it to Flo. Go ahead, Delroy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have agree somewhat with Sim as far as
What? What? What?
that's-
Go ahead, my brother. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You shocked me with that one. I thought you were
nah.
gonna cut my throat off. I was already grabbing my throat, man.
Nah, I mean, I can't deny that you're right about and it's not even reaching out; it's promoting your country. You got to
Yes.
promote your country. The U.S. promote our country, their country. My country, Jamaica, promote their country, and a lot of African countries does not, including Nigeria, the number one. I mean, and they do promote their country to whoever they want to because they reach out to the Chinese investors, to the Indian investors, to the Arab investors, and so forth and so on. You know, people are sleeping on African American investors and American money. Jamaica does not. We reach out, we promote, we want you to come to Jamaica and spend your money. You see what I'm saying? So yes, you have to promote your country. A lot of people don't know about these country. Promote the country. A lot of people know about the country through Nigerian music. You know, everybody loves Nigerian music, so that's one of the reasons. You know that a lot of people go to Nigeria, especially African Americans and people in diaspora because of the music, because they promote it. So it's important to promote your country. So that's reaching out. That's the same thing. Promotion is the same thing. That's all I got to say.
Hey, real quick, let me tell Simp one thing. I'm gonna pass it the flow. So Simp, I had a situation last summer. You know how they have the skimmers in the ATM machines at the gas station that steal your card information. So I went to get some cash out of an ATM. And next year, I wake up the next day. This is charged, that is charged, that is charged. I'll call my bank. First of all, I have to actually physically go into the bank. They're like, call all these vendors, get written statements from them, get that and the other, get this and the other. I'm just like, oh my goodness. So yeah, so that's what happened. And I didn't get my money back from them. The vendors ended up refunding me the money, but not the bank. But yeah, so I had to go through all that.
What bank is that you had to literally go inside? Come on, dog. That got to be some Kroger. That must be a bank inside Kroger.
I be doing banking black, man.
Yeah. Was it Citizen? Was it Citizen? Was it Citizen?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I told y'all, man. Let me tell you something. I love being black, but I would never deal with a black institution. You get what I'm saying? As far as my money, because they don't have the safeguards in place. They don't have the guaranteed FDIC with the type of money that I have, with the type of credit that I have. I'm trying to tell y'all from somebody that came from the gutter, that came from the streets, that been on his own since he was 14 years old, ain't never graduated from nothing. Right, Dynast, I just sent you a text message of my recent credit score. I am 29 points away from perfect credit. When my credit score hit when my credit hit 821 Dynast, my borrowing power went up to 450,000. You get what I'm saying? Now with my business account, I have I have a personal banker that I can call, a message, and email at all times. I didn't even know you have those type of privilege if you have a bank account and you got almost a perfect credit score. And it's not hard. It's not hard. All those quick fixes and calling people to pay them to get things lifted off your credit. I did none of that. You get what I'm saying? What I did was I woke up every day and said, ain't nothing wrong with my legs, ain't nothing wrong with my arms, ain't nothing wrong with my back. I'm crazy as shit, but I still focus. I'm a businessman and I'm focused on what I need to do. And that's what I did. And I started chipping away. But see, as black people, we're worldly type people. So don't get me wrong, Dynast. We want to invest in Africa. But Africa, stop saying Africa, 54 countries. Nigeria has to want to reach out, but not the Nigerian, the persona that they have is that you should want to be with us. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a privilege for you to come over here. You know what I'm saying? Even open up a bank account is not easy in Nigeria. You get what I'm saying? And on top of that, it's easier in Kenya. Like, on top of that, the internet connection, the data connection, you know what I'm saying? You can walk around Kenya and have 3G, you can have 3G or 4G walking around.
I got to interject. How is opening up a bank account in Nigeria not easy?
What, Dinus, the point of it is that I have been on the phone with people trying to go there and just get people already with bank accounts and have to sit there for 4 hours.
Listen, when I open up my bank accounts, I'm in there 30 minutes. In fact,
no, it's the things that you need to open the bank account. So, for example, you, Dinus, you have your Nigerian citizenship because you have, through your family. But in order for me to have done it, like, I didn't have all the family set up, and I opened my bank account before I did all that stuff. So now I have my sister, who's actually in Cali now. She literally, girl from Jos, she basically made me her family. I have BVN, NIN, and all that, but you need all that to open up the bank account.
Well, that's just like America. You got to have a social security number to open up a bank account, or alien, whatever it's called, number. Yeah.
Yeah, but those are easy to get though, Dinus. So what I'm saying is that the process of getting that information is what I'm saying is if you got a passport and you're over there with a visa and you plan on being there for a while or you plan on traveling, you should make that they don't have that separate. To get what I'm saying, for to make it easy on you. That's all I'm saying. So what I'm saying is when you go to these places, it's not they treat everybody the same as if, well, you the one came here. So it's no type of way, it's no type of information, there's no type of pamphlets. You get what I'm saying? And on top of that, even if you go online, the shit don't even work right. You get what I'm saying? So even when I was doing the research on Benin, I couldn't get in contact with nobody. I've been trying for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You get what I'm saying? And on top of that, I have plenty of money. I have the money to pay for that apartment for 20 years. Just in one account. And I still can't get nobody on the phone. I get a call back on WhatsApp from an agent. They're telling me he's gonna charge me to look, but I'm not gonna even look because I have a handler in Asaba. So what I'm saying is I'm a resourceful guy, Dinus, but everybody is not resourceful like that. I'm from the street, so I have that way of, I got the gift of gab, so I can talk to people, and I can sense their moral compass, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? So I'm good at that, but most people are not. So they have this romanticized about Africa, and then if you go to places that is not, as the brother said, that dropped off, all they doing is opening their arms. Dinah, you saying that you open your arms and basically saying we allow you to buy a plane ticket and we'll allow you to land, but once you land, you on your own. It's no type of reach out. It's no phone number. It's nothing. It is nothing in Nigeria. I have been searching it for a while. It is nothing that you can pick up the phone of a directory.
Nigerian first. Let me pass it the flow. Let me just pass it the flow, and then we'll pass it back. Go ahead. Now, hold on, Nigerian first. Flow. Flow.
Hi,
Hey.
Dinah. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I just came back from Nigeria after a month visiting family. I'm so happy to be back. But I really had a great time after 2 years. My last visit was 2 years ago. So this is what I have to say, guys. I believe that Nigeria is fine the way they are with our issues. I don't think that I don't think anybody should be complaining that African Americans are not investing in Nigeria. I think we should leave things the way they are. Let African Americans go to the countries that they feel comfortable going to. I'm talking about countries like Ghana, Tanzania, Gambia, and the rest of them. I believe that we have a lot of don't get it twisted, guys. There are a lot of African Americans in Nigeria, believe it or not. I know this because way back when I was much younger, a lot of men in my family were married to some African Americans, some British, Caribbean, some Jamaicans. So they're there. The women who are married to Nigerians, they are there, but you probably wouldn't know, or scattered all over Nigeria. Okay, and so some of them work in corporate Nigeria, some of them have their own private businesses, and others are just full-time homemakers. But going back to the topic, I think that Nigeria didn't invite African Americans like Ghana did for a reason. Because they didn't want to. I'm sorry, it might sound a little bit.
Say it like it's an exclusive club, like there's something special out there. Can you please extrapolate?
Well, what I mean is this: we have many issues going on. You understand? We do not have the abilities to invite African Americans to come to Nigeria, because then what that would mean is that you would have to get some things right. Okay, some things in place, because African Americans are used to a certain standard, right? For example,
That's true.
you buy some, yeah. You so, and when I said that,
Flo, can I ask a question real quick? I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No problem. Go ahead.
This is what bothers me about Black Americans in this standard.
Okay.
Like, we have a group of Black Americans who will complain or be upset at white people for being in Africa, but like, it just seems as if when white people go to Africa, they don't need to be, I want to use the right word. Can I say coddled? Would that be the right word?
No, that wouldn't be the right word, because white people are held to a higher standard. White people don't see, as Black Americans, we have to go searching, but white people are welcome. White people are held to a higher.
Okay. I can
white
answer that
people are
question.
definitely held to a higher standard.
My experience is different. I disagree.
Dinah, you're different because of what you see. What you're saying is what you call anecdotal. You get what I'm saying? When you talk to most Black people that goes to Nigeria, they're not coddled like that. Like I'm telling you, I see the way Nigerians look at white people. They put white people on a pedestal.
I'm not even talking Nigeria. I'm just talking Africa in general.
Well,
okay. I don't understand.
I saw the same thing in Kenya. I saw that when it was Black Americans and white people, yes, I was treated a little better than regular Kenyans, because they heard my voice. But when white people came down, they damn near started frothing. You get what I'm saying? Like, you thought they were going to start doing the dance or something, to start spinning around in a circle. It was like excitement to see a white person. So what I'm saying is, a white person don't even have to reach out. It's the Kenya person or the Nigerian that will reach out to the white person. Go ahead, Flo.
But Flo, is that the right term? Because we keep saying make it for Black Americans, and I see white people just in the village. I see white people everywhere, just having a good time everywhere.
Well,
I don't. Go ahead.
Because we were colonized by the British, right? A system has already been put in place from way back for white people. You understand? a lot of the tourist attractions, for example, in Nigeria, that I never heard of, they know it. Well, all these officials working at the embassies, of all the countries, I'm talking about the white people, they know where to go. They know who to reach out to. They already have a system from way back, from, when Nigeria was colonized. But when I said what I said, listen, now, assuming, for example, an African American goes to, let's say, Lekki area, they're going to be, they'll complain about the price of the houses there, because they're way too expensive. The complaint will start from that. Just the same way they're complaining about some things in Ghana being too expensive. A lot of them came to Ghana, thinking it was going to be way cheaper. But they ran back to the US because
what's the definition of expensive, ma'am? I just want to know. Like, when you mean to buy, because I think that it wouldn't be smart for, I'm just going to say this, and I don't mean to interject.
To buy and even to rent.
I'm an African American. I'll tell you why. I know a lot of African Americans that live in VI and Lekki, Ikate, all those places. And the smartest thing to do as an African American, why would we buy? Naira is falling.
Even rent will be expensive for them.
Rent is cheap. Stop now.
It's because of expectations. Let me tell you, listen, I've been in the US for 28 years, okay? And I'm originally from Nigeria. So when I talk, I try to be balanced. And I don't speak to spite anybody. I have nothing to gain. I'm just talking about from the perspective of
No,
having
I'm just
been.
saying.
Well,
rent,
but Black Beauty, let her finish. I'm trying to let her finish.
rent is cheap. What's
Okay,
So
$3,000?
you know why? Because when, let me tell you,
We have
this is
money.
the mindset.
let
The
her finish. Let her
mindset
finish.
is, the mindset is, listen, I'm going to Africa.
Exactly. I'm going to Africa. Everything should be cheap. Where the free land
Yeah,
at.
exactly.
Yeah, I know.
And then as soon as you realize that it's not, you begin to not be happy about it, which includes the system that doesn't work. Let me go there. You understand? You have to now pay more for. I just got back, pay more for inverter and solar generator and diesel. And then at the end of the day, you're like, what the heck am I doing here anyway? Because there are some things that are not in place, which you're already used to. Now, the only thing that will keep you in Nigeria is if you have fallen in love with somebody, a relationship, or if you are benefiting from the government, or working for one of these corporations that pays you in dollars. Otherwise, in 3-4 years max, you're running back because the system is not what you're used to. That's where I was coming from, and that's why I said that's why Nigeria doesn't bother to say come invest, because they already know the mindset of an African American, what they are used to, right? How they expect things to be. Which is not.
Ma'am, which African Americans are you talking about? Which African Americans in
I'm
general?
talking about most African Americans. I'm talking about African American people of Black descent here in America.
All right. Well, you do know that you do know that the average Black American live a simple life, right?
Well, hold on. Simple, at least they have electricity 24 hours. Simple, at least they have a system that works.
Yeah, but it's still a simple life, and it doesn't work everywhere all the time, like the way you think.
But like somebody said, if you go to although here in the US, I had some people come. We wanted to open a bank account here. We went there. They said you needed a social security number, which they didn't have. ITIN number, which you have to get. So I mean, everybody has it.
I just want to say, I set up 2 inverters. I had 3 flags, but now I only have 2. My first inverter, it was a better standard. It was $998,000. What's that? Less than $1,000. And then also my other inverter was $600,000. That's a lesser quality inverter, and that was, what is that? $600. I think you really misjudge our pocket.
It just became $600. Remember, with the inflation, it wasn't always $600, ma'am. The inflation that happened this year, maybe $600.
We're American. We come with dollar.
Black Beauty, are you saying inverter or generator?
I'm talking about the inverter, the generator. The gen is in your building. The inverter
right.
is inside your apartment.
Well,
yeah.
Well, okay, you might be right, but I have a mansion. I spent a way lot more than
Rich
that.
Auntie.
Somebody in a 1-2-bedroom apartment or whatever. But listen,
Black Beauty.
Listen, so hold on.
Black Beauty, can I say something to you? Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
All right, Black Beauty. Keep talking about Nigeria and this power problem. Sophisticated, beautiful South Africa is having the same problem.
I heard.
You see what I'm saying? They have scheduled lights out every single day. The only thing with them, they inform you when they're gonna put it off. That's the difference. Yep. But they're having a lot of power issues. They're going through it too. So Nigeria is not the only one, and other African countries going to it also. So it's in what's the word? In decking up on Nigerians to improve the power for their own people, not for African Americans or anybody else, for their own people.
But that was the point that I was making. Me and Black Beauty was making.
That's the point. That's what I'm saying, though. That brings me back to the topic.
But Flo,
what you're saying is that you live in a mansion and that we're gonna come to Africa with a high standard, and the standard we're looking for, we can't afford it. Let me make you understand something. Even if we want to buy a building in Ikate or anywhere in Lekki Phase 1 or 2, we could afford that. You're coming to America.
Oh, please, ma'am, excuse me, please. Okay, so what happened to the African Americans that went to Ghana complaining about the price of whatever? Did you not hear them complain that it was too expensive?
My lady, you're comparing African Americans who are going to Ghana for a simple vacation to African Americans who are going to a completely different continent to invest. The intent is very different. And they're like,
Yes, I
let's
think
not get into
you
this
know what you're
conversation
gonna
because I'm
pay
too
for,
Nigerian.
and you know the
Right?
price
So
of
like
it.
this is pretty much the same kind of attitude that the Americans are speaking about. Right?
Yes,
Like
and the
there's a
Africans, they
different
really
intent with going to Nigeria to invest as opposed to going to Nigeria or Ghana for a simple
But if
vacation
you're going
instead
to
of
a
going.
place to invest, I'm thinking that you're starting a business, right? And you're going to live there.
I have a business. It's
Correct
called
me if
High
I'm
Mission
wrong.
Nigeria. That's a fact.
Right?
It's registered to CAC. Correct? Yes.
Most Americans when they come when they go to
Hey, Sim, sorry to cut you off, Sim. Dark, are you done? Because Dark, I know you've been waiting. Dark, go ahead. Dark.
No, I just wanted to interject and make that one point. Like, listen, I empathize with Lady Flo.
No, I think the way that Flo is speaking,
Jack,
I'm
let
Dark.
hey, let Dark finish.
In Ghana
Flo,
that I kept hearing.
No,
right?
because she's coming from an angle where she thinks, hold on, I want to say this because this is a woman. Let the women address the women. She's coming from an angle where she thinks that we are going over there complaining because we don't know the price of things. I think if a person knows they're going to live somewhere for a year and they know what the investments are that they have to make, they will come prepared, right? And I also think that it's very funny as an African that has come out of her country to make money over here or wherever she's at, that she thinks that we don't have a business mind, the same business mind that she has. I'm like, please, now sit down.
Okay, well, Flo, let me say this too, Flo. The mindset of Black Americans coming to Nigeria is completely different from the mindset of Black Americans going to Ghana.
Yeah.
So we can't be don't confuse us with the two. Completely different mindset. Yeah, completely different mindset.
Please. What's different? Because I don't know. Educate me.
Well, I think with Ghana again, it's where the free land at. Where the free land at. You know, the chief go give us the free land. You know, I heard that I can get 25 acres of land for $5. You know, like ain't no Black Americans talking that shit when we go to Nigeria.
But
that's Ghana.
In Jamaica is very expensive. Plenty of African American coming down there buying up apartments. I mean, it is expensive, more expensive than a lot of places here. You know, African Americans that go in there, they buying up all kind of things.
I would say this, Flo. I think the Black Americans who are going to Nigeria aren't as delusional as Black Americans going to Ghana.
Right. Well, say this. Let me pick it back off you for a second, Dynas. The problem with the gun is, even though they have a great reach out, they make a lot of promises too that ain't all the way correct. So you have a lot of Black Americans that are coming over there waiting for that 40 acre and a goat. You know what I'm saying? And goat pepper soup. Then they go over there and get me you. Then they get online and start talking stuff about Ghana. So
exactly.
It's always
I don't know why Black Beauty is going off on me.
Hold on for a second, Flo. Flo.
Telling me
Flo, hold on for a second,
Flo. Make money in America. What has that got to do with the discussion?
It has everything to do with it. It has everything to do with it because you're trying to compare Black Americans that go to Ghana. The way that they look at Ghana, or their perspective is not the same way they go to Nigeria. See, this is what we're saying on this platform.
Before
I got that, but hold on. Let me.
I couldn't differentiate before.
Flo, let me help you out. See, you got to. Hey, Flo. See, sometimes. Flo. See, sometimes you got to take the emotions out of it and just open up your African ears and listen. The thing about it is that that's the point that we're making right now, is that Nigeria doesn't reach out.
I thought. Okay.
Well, we're trying to tell you. But you don't want to listen. You get what I'm saying? It's almost like you're in defense mode.
I'm agreeing with you that they will not.
Flo,
I'm saying,
Flo, I understand.
Listen,
I understand, but can I finish?
Are wrong in the
Hey, Flo. Hey, Flo. Miss Flo, can I finish my point the way we let you finish your point?
Go ahead.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Thank
So
you.
what we're saying, the whole topic of the conversation is that black people want to invest. We see what's going on. Like a lot of black Americans, we see that the year of return and everything after that is some fluff. Yes, there's some realism to it, but it's a lot of fluff and it's a lot of promise. And also, we would love to invest in Nigeria. Just like Dinah said, we can see what's going on with the oil and all the production. But me personally, I think that Nigeria is more focused on being an industrial country, Dinus. I think that's the reason why it's not for tourists. And a lot of black people that they're not business minded like me. My business very industrial. You get what I'm saying? It's ships, it's trains, it's trucks. You get what I'm saying? So, and it's gas and petrol. So that means that I don't have to, that's why I'm choosing Benin City. That's a city that's not even on the tourist stomping ground, Dinus, because I just need I'm using that apartment as my office. You get what I'm saying? And I saw what the people were saying in the chat that I'm coming over there to trick off. I trick off everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. You get what I'm saying? That's just the way that it is. I'm an older guy. I got to pay. Hold on. Let me put the full disclaimer out there, Dinah. Let me leave it to there's no ambiguity. I'm not gonna leave no crumbs on the table. I trick off everywhere I go. I have a credit card that has 25,000 American dollars. That equates to right now with the Naira being at 1.3K. That is about 28 million Naira. I'm tricking off everywhere I go.
What's the Naira?
You know I'm country, bro. You know I'm country. So I'm gonna put that extra twang on it. But it's the Naira. But what I'm saying is that I'm gonna use my Western benefits to make my life easier over there. I'm an older guy, you get what I'm saying? So I know I got to pay to play. You know what I'm saying? I ate a 3-piece from Church's the other day, so I picked up 3 pounds, so I got to pay like I weigh when I come. But at least I know that. You get what I'm saying? At least, hold on though, but this is the thing though. I'm not naive to the fact. So I'm not asking nobody to do anything for me. As I go, I'm greasing palms. You get what I'm saying? That's the one thing that I respect about Nigeria, Dinus. If you grease a few palms and make life easier for a few people, you can get way more than you can get in America. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that if a police pull me over, I can shoot him 5,000 Naira and get on about my business. In America, I might get beat up and thrown in jail. You know what I'm saying? Get arrested. I understand that if I have the type of money that I have, the type of credit score that I have, the type of business savvy that I have, that I work, Nigeria is perfect for me. But what I'm saying, Dine, is me, you, people like Black Beauty, we're the exception to the rule. Most black people ain't coming over there with that sense of mind frame. They thinking it's gonna be romanticized, they're gonna get off the bus, and it's gonna be like Wakanda, and everybody dancing in the street offering them jollof rice with assorted goat meat in it.
Simple. Nigeria's gonna become like Wakanda, man.
Yo, Hustle Smart. Between
what you mean fake, non-existent?
I'm telling you, don't sleep. I'm telling you, don't sleep on it.
Listen, I want to make it short. Submission.
Go ahead. I just want to say one thing before you go. Between 3 apps over the last 2.5 years, I have brought $89,000 into Nigeria, and I don't own no property. I just rent and hang out. So I don't know what these people be talking about.
All right, go ahead, Dark.
Yeah, no, listen, to the Flow Lady. The Flow Lady made some very valid points, and so did the Simple East. Nigeria has a lot of problems. Nigeria has a lot of stuff to work on. We have a lot of work to do. So as far as Nigeria reaching out, what's the title again? It says Nigerian man is sad that African Americans aren't investing in Nigeria. Well, that is large in part because there is no outreach, and I agree completely with the Simple East as far as that is concerned. Ghana, for example, is a lot more popular right now, especially on with African Americans, large in part because of the Afrofest in December. So every December you have people who are going to Ghana primarily for that one event. But to flow, these people aren't going to Ghana to invest, and they're going primarily just to spend a few weeks and have a little bit of fun, freak off, and do their thing. Now, but if you're talking about the people who have a business mind and are going to Nigeria to invest, then they're going with a business mind. But the thing about Nigeria is not going to reach out to anyone, right? But you have to go and seek those opportunities yourself, or as a Black Beauty said earlier, you need to have connections, you need to network, and get in contact with people who will be able to help you along the way. Right, and it's really that simple. So it's really a matter of people working together. It's not a complicated issue. And yeah, listen, the simple issue, you're absolutely right. Right, like Nigerians are arrogant people. Right, like we're arrogant for no reason. It's just who we are. Right, it's bloodline almost.
No, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Approximately how many Indians live in Nigeria? Because I hear a number like 800,000. Is that correct?
I live in New York, and I've been living in New York half my life.
No, Indians.
No, I'm saying I live in New York, and my father is Nigerian. Right, so my mother's from
okay.
So I don't know what the.
Do you know Black Beauty? I hear it's 800,000. Do you know Black Beauty?
I'm gonna give you an answer. I'm gonna tell you the straight answer that I'm gonna say. I've never seen an Indian. There's Lebanese.
There's a lot of Lebanese, yeah.
I don't know many Indians. Like there's Indians in Kenya, from what I've heard, because they set up Mombasa and that's their technology area, New Delhi, over there.
You're good. You're Black Beauty. You're good with computers. Real quick in Google. Could you type it up real quick? India. How many Indians in Nigeria?
None. Like when
I know what you said. Could you just check real quick?
According to the High Commission of India in Nigeria, around 35,000 Indians live in the country, primarily in Lagos. However, a 2023 interview with India's ambassador in Nigeria
but where they at,
suggests that there are about 60,000 Indians in Nigeria who have lived there for 3 to 4 decades. So
where are they at?
About how much?
Says about 60,000 Indians in Nigeria who have lived there for 3 to 4 decades.
All right, so
here's a Wikipedia article. Nigeria has around 800,000 Indian Nigerians, with Indians being the largest racial minority in the country. Most of the Indian community in Nigeria is Hindu. India and Nigeria were both none of that matters.
Thank you very much. That was my point.
North, though, maybe they're in the north. If you're saying they were part of setting it up, because remember they set up the north first, so they got to be like in Jos and up there. Bauchi and stuff like that. Like they can't be over.
So they're second behind South Africa of Indians. Second behind South Africa. I was shocked when I found out. That's why I wanted to verify that.
They gotta be in the north. Honestly, they have to be.
Hey, Black Beauty, Mr. Delray, let me explain something to y'all about because maybe a lot of y'all don't know what tricking off means. At the end of the day, I understand African culture. You get what I'm saying? Nigerian culture. I understand that real well. I talk to plenty of people. I see the way it works. The handler that I deal with in Asaba works at a grocery store. They make $45,000 a month, Black Beauty, working in a grocery store 5 days a week. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, when I say tricking off, is the point that greasing the palms is that if you can get with a person that works a job every day, 5 days a week for a month, and they only got 40, and they only making 45 to 55,000. And you put them in a position to where when you come to Nigeria, you come to Nigeria and you're willing to give them for good information, point you in the right direction, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that you're not getting scammed or getting taken for, and you giving them just 5,000, I'm gonna say it right this time, Dinah, 5,000 Naira a day, which is the equivalent of about $3.70. That right there is for them would be the equivalent of $35,000 a week. That's 140,000 a month. People work at the banks make that much, or not even. So that's what I mean by greasing the palms, is that you throw your money. You don't throw it around just in just giving it away. I'm not tricking off like that. But what I'm saying is that it's an even exchange for services. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I saw people in the chat say, okay, I'm coming over there for women. Why would I not? I told y'all that I don't mess with these wig, weed wearing, wild hyena, hood rat, uppity twerk monkey from Southeast DC, these big back, silverback, Jerome Bettis, Stacey Abrams, stunt double looking chicks in America, always yelling period, got these fingernails like claws snatching words out their hair and slapping on the hand and telling you they don't need a man. Why would I wanna waste my time with women that's fighting against men? Why would I want to deal with women that saying they don't need a man? Why would I deal with a woman? Of course, when I go to Africa, I'm going to deal with the women there because they're nicer. They're easier to work with. Cleaning up, cooking, basic domestic duty, it is natural to them. You get what I'm saying? And then if you put them in a position to where it's better than what they been getting, why would they not conform? You can say bow down. You can say submit. But they don't even see it like that. So what I'm saying is that with the type of money that I have, yes, I'm going to use my Western privilege to my benefit. I'm not going over there giving no money away. You get what I'm saying? I'm not a clown like that. So therefore, I'm not going over there trying to be a savior. But what I am going to do, I'm damn sure going to hire me some Nigerians. And I'm going to have some Nigerians on my payroll. You get what I'm saying? So on top of that, when we talk about the money that you have, you want to go over there with enough money. If you go over there with the money for 2 weeks, you need to go over there with the thought process of having enough money for 4. It's the same way when you go buy a car and you go get an apartment, and the apartment complex diners forces you to make 3 times the rent. Because if it was black people, if black people made $800, they'll go get a car note for $700 and then start praying to God and how they gonna pay their bills with the other $100, because that's what we do. So Africa, when it comes to places like Nigeria, you have to have a good mindset to go. So just like Black Beauty said, that you got to already have a thought process and do your research, and that's what I've been doing. That's why I chose Benin City instead of Abuja. Abuja is for the elite, for the people that's in high government. You get what I'm saying? And things like that. Yes, you can live. But like I was telling Black Beauty earlier, the same apartment that I'm looking for in Benin City, that's 1.5 million, will be 2.5 to 3 million in Abuja. So I'm getting the bang for the buck, but you got to have a handler. You got to have 1 or 2. And you can get 1 or 2 handlers in Nigeria for less than $8 a day. So you need to use that instead of stop trying to walk around, giving away your money. The people in Nigeria want to work for what they get. But if you going around being like a savior, you're going to attract unsavory attention being a savior. You'll attract better people by giving a Nigerian the opportunity to work and to show that, yes, I am working this job for 45, 50K a month. But if you're willing to pay me 25K a week, I will work just as hard for you that I'm working for them. And I'm getting paid double. I'm getting paid 4 times the amount of money that I would get working this job for 30 days. If they can get 25,000 out of me in a week, you get what I'm saying? That's 4 times what they get standing at this grocery store every day for a month. And on top of that, I'm paying them per week. Nigerian jobs pay their people every month, and sometimes they don't even get paid that month. They have to wait till the next month. So therefore, yes, I'm tricking off. Yes, I am gonna grease palms. Yes, I am dealing with, African women. Why would I not? And I passed
you're
the mic.
not really doing business any differently there than how you do it in the United States of America, right? Like you trick off here too.
Right. Let me read this super chat real quick, and I'll pass it back to you, Dark. Mostly Maine, Nigeria has a world-renowned reputation for scamming and corruption. Why would a smart investor make his first choice, Afro beats aside? I mean, everybody else is investing there. Like, okay, what do you consider a smart investor?
I mean, there are a lot of investors in Nigeria, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I don't understand. It's common. A lot of investors are in Nigeria. I mean, what are you talking about? All right, go ahead, Dark.
No, I'm just going to like bolster. I think damn, what's his name? The simplest. I think his approach is correct. Like I was saying in the very beginning, like Nigeria has a lot of work to do, right? And if you're looking to invest in Nigeria, then you're going to need people on the ground who will be able to help you out. And if you're willing to work with them and help them out, you're not, African Americans, or those of us who are in the Americas, our currency is generally stronger than it is for people in there. It's just like one hand washes the other, right? So if you're going to go to Nigeria or any other part of Africa for that matter, you're not going to be there permanently. Then it will work to your benefit to work with someone who will, and they're willing to help you out, right? Like it's not like it's not like yeah, yes, we get some Nigerians that come to America and they may be a little snobby. I get it, I see it, right? Like I understand that, but in Nigeria on the ground itself is a very different world and a very different reality. So the only thing is that like the title says, the idea of reaching out at this point in time is probably not going to happen. You're going to have to go see for yourself. Everybody else is doing it, right? You get on a plane, you go to fucking Nigeria. You get on a plane, you go to Nigeria. There's going to be majority white people on that plane. Right?
Hey, let me read this. In fact, go ahead, Dark. Go ahead and finish.
No, that's all I'm saying. Like, you get on a plane, you go to Nigeria. There's going to be majority white people on that plane. They're going not only for vacation, they're going to invest in different businesses and do what they have to do to make their money. And the last thing I would want is for African Americans or anybody else, any African in the diaspora themselves, to miss out on these very opportunities that everyone else is taking advantage of. Right? The Indians, the Lebanese, the whites.
Exactly my point.
You know what I mean? Like that's the last thing we want. We only have ourselves. We only have each other.
The only thing I think, Dark, that makes it a little difficult in what you're saying, because I agree with you, is that, like, for example, when I try to open up, it's different now. Like, I'm married, whatever. I have a Nigerian last name. But when you don't have one, you're not going to be able to really participate in the economy in that way. So it's kind of hard to, like, open up a business and do things in a formal manner if you don't have one of those last names. And if you do have one of those last names, sometimes they will even go as far as, like, if you're not exactly from that area, they'll tell you to provide your certificate of indigent from River State. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm talking about.
So Black Beauty, how does the Chinese, the Lebanese, the Indians,
that's what I wanted to say.
How do they do it?
The thing I learned, Dark, is that they're gonna do it for them Lebanese. If your name is
they do. And that's what I was saying. Like when the lady came in here, she got like offended. I was like,
it's upsetting.
Look, I understand, like, I understand like the nationalism and shit like that, but listen, at the end of the day, I'm an African, right? Like I don't really care about I'm not a nationalist. Like I care about my people, regardless at the end of the day. So like I think we need to look out for one another, because ultimately that's what these people are doing themselves. They're looking out for their own people. We're all we got. Right.
And
so like
too, Dark, is like, let's say maybe in the beginning when they first had their first generation. But if you know, like Diddaloo Estates is all Lebanese. That's right next to Oniru, where I'm at. That estate is basically all Lebanese. And so what happens now is, like, maybe the first generation grandpa had a hard time setting up his business. But by the third generation, them kids is born there. Yeah. So now it's like they're at home setting up a business. Yeah. So it's some wild shit. It's so crazy how they will let Mr. Armenian or whatever set up his business before they would let Jackie, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's effects of colonization.
American last name. So I had to get married. I got married. So that's what y'all gonna have to do.
Right.
Hey, well, let me read this real quick, and then you guys can respond. Lebanese, Indians, whites are all in Nigeria. Are Black people just losers looking for excuses? But and that's my thing when the brother brought up the whole corruption and scamming. I'm like, all these other groups of people are over there.
Exactly. But can I let me answer the scamming thing, because I don't think people understand what scamming, real true scamming is. I'll just give an example, because America is we have the biggest scammers here.
Yeah,
They just pass a package of $90 billion for Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel, right? This is real scamming. All right, say Ukraine gets $60 billion, right? Ukraine don't actually get $60 billion. A senator in whatever state that make missiles, this and that, get 40 million of it, right? And Ukraine get 20 million. That's the way it works. That's the way it works. You see what I'm saying? So the senator said, well, I'm not going to sign this bill unless I'm not going to sign this bill unless my state, my corporation in my state get X amount from it. That's scamming. So on paper, it says Ukraine got $60 billion, but no, Ukraine didn't get $60 billion. They got $20 billion, and Mojo Corporation got $40 million. That's the way it works, and that's the way it works in every Senate. That's why they have lobbyists and all that. They are the scammers, the lobbyists and the senators. That's what they do. Well, I'm not signing this bill because I need this road fixed. And I'm like, while you're fixing the road, just slip $1 million in my pocket while I'm not looking. Sophisticated scamming. That's real scamming, where billions and billions of dollars is changing hand, not some little chump change. That's scamming, and that's the way it works. And that's the way it works in all states. Right? When the Texas governor said, okay, well, take these 10,000 million migrants in your state, since you want free this and that, I don't have to deal with them. That's scamming. I mean, just go on and on. That's real scamming. People would understand this about how real scamming works and real corruption works. Dr. Arikana speak about it all the time. You see what I'm saying? You're talking about hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars leaving Africa through France, through US, through other European country is leaving Africa. That's scamming. That's real corruption. That's what I'm saying about it.
But that's what you call multi-level. That's on a higher level, Del Ray. See,
right, but that's real scamming. Talk about. I'm just saying. Talk about that. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I'm saying is it's a big difference from Ukraine getting 68 billion and then you going somewhere and a mango costs 500 and they charge you 2K. See, at the end of the day, it's the personal scamming gets you more than what you see what the government is doing. We know that we ain't got nothing to do with the government. And I'm gonna tell you, Del Ray, this right here, you actually made a point off of an old show. You talked about the military complex, and you know who pushes the military what party pushes not the war, but we talk about the selling of military goods. That's the Democratic Party. You see, the Republicans didn't want to send Ukraine no money because the Republicans don't deal with that. Those are the Democrats that has their military lobbyists. The military lobbyists on the Democratic side. Hold on for a second. Let me finish. So therefore, they push that narrative. So even when the Johnson was the Republicans chair, he couldn't even get a Republican to sign on it. So even though Republicans and Democrats don't get along again, but all Democrats came to vote for the Republican to get that money sent over there because it's the Democrats, the one that claim they love you and they like you and they care about you. They are the real ones that make the money off the weapons. See, I'm just trying to show you how the politics scheme going on. I'm with you on the scam, but at the same time, Mr. Delroy, you got to look at the scam and the scheme. You get what I'm saying? You got to see which party is scheming on you with the scam, because that's at a multi-level. But what I'm saying is, but when people make these YouTube videos, it hit more of a personal note. If you go get in a cab and the cab is only 1K, but he charge you 5K, you get what I'm saying? Or he hold your bags. So that stings you more. That gonna make you it's the a petty scamming, Delray, that insults black people when they come out. It ain't the scamming that they see the politicians doing by taking the money, taking the aid, taking the money, buying houses in Europe, sending their kids to college in Europe. When they want to go to the hospital, they go to the hospital in Europe. That doesn't bother me. But if I go to the market and a pineapple is 500 naira and they charge me 6,000, I'm gonna take that personally, even though I have the money to pay that. I just don't feel like it's that thing with black people. We already know the story of slavery, and then on top of that, when I come over here and I want to do business with you, because black Americans, we don't have to go to the markets, we don't have to haggle with prices. We can do exactly how we do in America. Go to the Chinese places, go to the places where the price is already set on the product. But when we do go to these type of places, and you have black people romanticizing again, smiling, and then the Africans sitting there like, look at this sucker talking in Yoruba or whatever language they in, and then they sticking it to them. See, I understand the way the Nigerian is looking at it. It's like, okay, you just spent $2,000 on a plane ticket to get here. You spent $2 million on hotel. You're gonna spend about another $500K or $1 million on travel and eating. Why are you complaining about an extra $5K for a mango or a pineapple? But you already know, Mr. Delroy, when it comes to black people, it ain't the cost, it's the principle behind the whole thing. Black people will risk it all about the principle. Somebody tried you, somebody looked at you wrong, somebody said something to you wrong, will make you risk it all, because we are emotional based people. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, if we go to Africa and we see people that look like us trying to beat us out there, we already know in America, if somebody try to beat you out your money in America, you'll be ready to fight. You would be ready to fight if you gave somebody $20 and they supposed to gave you back 15 and they gave you 14. You'll be standing there ready to fight about it. So if you feel that way in America, you're gonna feel that way in Africa too. You get what I'm saying? So it's the principle, and then it evolves into disrespect, and then the disrespect come into venom and talking shit online. I'm just telling. See, one thing about Hustle Smart, Delray, I just tell it like it is. A lot of black people, we don't like the truth. We like to fluff it up, flip it, and rub it down. You get what I'm saying? I'm just giving you the straight, narrow truth. I'm not on the fence. You get what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's not gonna. I'm telling you, it won't happen to me. I'm telling you, it's not gonna happen to me, but it's gonna happen to that lady that saved up her money for 5 years to go to Africa. She's just in love with the culture. She wants to be spiritually connected. She don't yoni steamed in garlic butter sauce. She ready to go over there and kiss the ground. And then as soon as she go to
I hear what you're saying. You're right about the low level scamming. I understand that, but I just wanted to point it out, not even to us right here that's on the panel, but more to the audience that's listening, because they dwell a lot on that type of scamming. But I was just talking about the hundreds of billions of dollars, or the real scam. I wanted people to understand what real scamming. The average person don't look at that as scamming. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't understand how it works. So I just wanted to point that out. But I understand what you're saying about, buying a mango for X and of course this. It should be like, okay, let me give you a $2 or $3 more for the mango. Don't tell me that it's this when it's that. So I understand that part. What you're saying.
Let it be a tip. Don't say that this is what it costs. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't
because that's what we're going to do anyway. We're going to give them the more money anyway.
Hey guys, let me pass it to Self Science. We got some people in the queue. Go ahead, Self Science. Unmute yourself.
Oh, and before you move, like Delroy, what you're describing is corruption. In the United States of America, corruption is rife. It's just legalized and called lobbying.
Right.
Self Science. Go ahead, Self Science. We can't hear you, Self Science. We got to pass the mic. Cosmic, go ahead. Unmute yourself, Cosmic.
My own interjection into this matter into this topic will always be that of economics. Now, we have to go back to the mind. In a world full of many perspectives, when will the black race choose a perspective that is advantageous to us? Our problem is a problem of mind. Because how can you tell me that the elites of Black America can go to Nigeria, for example, and create, for example, ABL, African Basketball League, in a continent of over 400 million people? It will only cost them at most 2 billion naira. How much is 2 billion naira in American dollars? That's no more than $10 million. So the problem is not that we can't do it. The problem is perception. We are not seeing our reality, or somebody is controlling our reality. Because there is no issue. Everything is there for us. Whatever Black America or any Africans want to do can go do in Africa. All these things that we keep saying is a problem are just excuses. We are not organized, so our problems are never going to be solved until we organize as a people, irregardless of our differences. We will not be able to perceive the things that are advantageous to us, even when it's right there in front of us.
Let me ask something. Didn't they start a basketball league, the NBA in Nigeria? I thought they did.
Well, the NBA did. It's in Rwanda.
Why would you allow the Jewish man to come? See, and that is what Sheon Kuti keeps saying. This is also a problem of class. We are not class aware. How come you, as a Black man, in most of the society you go, anytime you step in that society, you're automatically the least, the bottom of that society? It doesn't matter. It's already regulated. The only thing you have to yours, which now happens to be the richest piece of land in the world, is something that you want to play with and want to let somebody else to come and build in. Shouldn't you be selfish with that? Shouldn't you say, hey, white boy, get the fuck out of there, man. You can do your shit in America, but that is my homeland. Get the fuck out of there. But you are not organized. You cannot do it.
But is it up to us, or is it up to the Africans that are running their own country?
If the Lebanese can be in Nigeria, the Chinese, and everybody can be in Africa and they're operating, Black America and the diaspora can do the same thing too, even better.
I agree. We can be in Africa, but can we set up like a league like that without like Tinubu approving it? I'm just asking.
Tinubu doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Okay.
You go in there as a corporation. See, it's about perception again.
Okay.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because you lack knowledge, ye shall be destroyed. I'm not even a Christian. Our problem is the problem of perception. All these things you guys argue about are not problems. Are things that can easily be solved. Some with money, some with good attitude, some with just bribing somebody a little bit, some with just a little bit of, side organization here. All those simple things.
That's true.
Yes, sir.
Our problem is perception. Somebody is controlling your reality. So you can't see. So go ahead.
Let me say something.
And then after you, I'm gonna pass it to Pro You. Or go ahead, Nigeria.
Albert Igwe was part of investor for NBA Africa. He was an investor in NBA Africa. When he passed away, they released a statement and announced he was an investor. So they posted a tribute to him. So he was an investor in NBA Africa.
See, to me, Nigeria first. To me, I am a full-blooded African man. I do not want to share anything with the white man. I have given him enough. I don't want his label. I don't want his foot anywhere near Africa. I have given him enough. He has taken enough. He has stolen enough. He has killed enough. If I have my way, I will build a wall in Europe. But y'all ain't ready for this kind of thinking. Y'all ain't ready for this kind of organization. Y'all ain't ready for this kind of sacrifice. Y'all ain't ready to look at death in the eyes. All this intellectualization, it has already been done by the ancestors, by our grandparents, by Camille Stokely, by John Eric Clark, by Ben Yakinen, by all the greats. It's been done. You don't need no intellect. We don't need intellectualization no more. We need action. We need to pull ourselves by the fucking bootstrap and move.
All right, let me pass it to Pro U. Pro U, unmute yourself, Pro U. Pro U, go ahead. Pro U, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Pro U. All right, let me pass it to Dark. You want to add something?
Oh no, not at the moment. I do agree with. I believe it was Cosmic Chaos that was speaking just now. Like I agree with you. But listen. Ultimately, the bottom line here is that we're kind of all we've got. We've got to let go of all the hang-ups that we have about each other, and the arrogance. There's a degree of truth to the Sinhalese assertion that Nigerians are arrogant. More so. Maybe we'll admit that ourselves. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's helped us to get very far across borders, and it is what it is. But we do need to start working with each other because we have a lot of work to do, and I'll continue to stress that until we get to the point where we realize that we're all we've got. We need to work with each other for the betterment of each other as a unit. That I think we will forever be stuck at the bottom.
Bullshit. It was the Rockefellers who pulled the fucking Europeans out of what they are, not the European populists. Our problem again, okay, see, one of the issues is this. Our elites are disloyal to us, and we let it slide. Our elites are disloyal to us, and we let it slide.
I agree with you. I've always said that. I've always agreed with that. I agree with you 100%. Yeah.
So we just need, we don't need the masses. We need our own talented 10th to agree that they are going to use the resources, the knowledge, the intelligentsia, the militia, the whatever, together to create our own space. See, we don't need to fight the Europeans. All we need to do is ignore them. Honestly, we don't need to fight them. But when I say ignore, I mean you don't sell them your resources. You don't pay them attention. You don't watch their TV. You don't want anything to do with them. You send all their embassies away. I don't want anything to do with you. Just ignore them. You don't have to fight them. Just write policies and things like that. But we know that, for example, about 2-3 years ago, I heard the news that they said racism cost about, for the last 30 years, racism has cost America about $3 trillion. So that is to say, the United States is invested in making sure that the black people of America and the world, right, are where they want them to be. So your enemy is invested in you being where you, making sure you are where he wants you to be. That's from that perspective. So at the end of the day, practicality, talking in practicality right now, if we that call ourselves Pan-Africans are not able to sacrifice $20 every month to somebody we trust collectively and together write a policy in today's world right now, maybe it's diners, maybe it's whoever we choose, and say we don't care. Diners, we're going to put this thing on you. You are a Pan-African and we trust you. And we are going to create an assistant and people to be with you, and we are going to have conference call. We don't need to see each other physically. We live in the modern world. If Marcus Garvey can gather 20 million people, 20 million black men and Africans around the world, time there was no internet, what are we doing? All this intellectualization is just nonsense. Right now, we should create a body, choose a president, a co-president, create a trust, Create a mechanism whereby whatever money you put in that bank account, you get in a text message or an email. So you are having evidence. Create a mechanism whereby there's a trustee, there's a co-trustee, there's a co-beneficiary, whatever. There are people who are very smart among us who can do all these things. And every one of us are putting $20, $50, whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. If at the end of the year you put in $100,000, the profit of that $100,000, you're going to get it back. Whatever you put in it, you get back. We're going to Africa, we start a corporation. We're moving. A venture capitalism, ABL, Nigerian Soccer League. We move to South Africa, mining. We move to Botswana, mining. We move to, and we are selling to ourselves, creating our own world. Black Brazil, Haiti, Jamaica, Black Asia, Africa, Black America, Canada. Create our own Facebook. Create a marketplace. Create a logistic. This thing is not hard. It's not rocket science. I don't have a PhD. I don't even have a school degree.
Yeah, but it's not that. Listen. This is the thing. Let me tell you, bro. I did the whole militant thing too. About
No. This is not militant.
Listen, hold on
This
for
is
a
not
second,
militant.
bro.
No.
Bro, Cosmic. See, Cosmic, and we can't even have a conversation. We can't even respect each other.
Don't mislabel me. That's what I'm saying.
Bro. Nobody interrupt. I didn't interrupted you when you was talking. You did a whole monologue. Nobody interrupt you. I got 3 words out my mouth, and you're trying to go back in. So let me finish saying what I'm saying, my brother. Let me finish saying what I'm saying. If you don't like it, then you can go after that. I waited till you got through talking. I'm saying is that this is another situation of 2 things can be right at the same time. I agree with everything you're saying. But on this channel, Dynast has seen, and I have been pushing this point every time somebody jump up here, they have an idea. We're still getting at the starting line. Every other group of people is already in the race. The race is already running. You get what I'm saying? Your idea. Let me. No. What I'm saying on the grand scheme. On the grand scheme of things, you get what I'm saying? To where it can be networking. Like what I'm telling you, bro. I work in international shipping. I see the way all these other group of people network. You got people that don't even like each other. They're still networking. You got companies that hate each other that still let the other company use their boats. See what I'm saying is we're so busy trying to conduct business with people that look like us, and I'm telling you, the way it's set up international, it will only get so far when you're picking and choosing. See, what I realized when it comes to international shipping, they got slots. You pay for slots. It don't have a picture. It don't have a race. It don't have a tribe. It don't have an ethnicity. It don't have a name. It don't have a weight. It don't have nothing connected to it. You pay for that slot. You get what I'm saying? If your weight is right and the material that housing what's inside it is stable, you can buy that slot. You can actually buy a slot on a competitive boat. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes when I ship my freight over there, I'm competing against somebody, and the person that's trying to hire me put out a better rate to bring more product on. I find out who that person is, and then I say, well, okay, let me buy a slot with you. So I buy the slot with this guy. Then he's already getting a discount for 20 containers. I add my one to him, pay the fee, and now I made over an extra $700 that I got from just doing business straight up. What I'm saying is that I have no problem with starting a business. But at somewhere we got to hit the ball running with the investments that's already being had. We got to be able to put in on the stuff that's already started, that's already in the works. It just need that extra investment. Do you get what I'm saying, Dynast? Say for instance that is a building that's halfway made. They already done laid the groundwork, the foundation, and everything. Now they need to finish and touchment. It's all what a lot of people don't understand, Mr. Cosmic. When it comes to international business, it's different levels of investment. So sometimes y'all wonder, well, why did they only build this part and then they'd invest in this part. They'll have the investment split up in layers. You get what I'm saying? So the people that's doing the final investment might do the managing of the building. The people that's building it is not always the managing investment. I had to learn that the hard way. So that's what I'm saying is those type of business ventures and investment opportunities are not promoted. It's not promoted in no type of way. So therefore, if all I'm saying is if we keep talking about starting from the bottom, we still is running 10, 20 years behind of the people that's already doing. We got to get inside. What I'm trying to tell you, Mr. Cosman, is that the only way I learned international shipping is not building my business up from the ground. It was getting into the shipping ports, the shipping containers that was already being done. And on top of that, while I'm doing that, I can try to build mine up. But you got to diversify. Your funds have to be diversified that one can rub each other back. One would be the big brother and one would be the small brother. You get what I'm saying? So starting from the bottom is good. You get what I'm saying? But when you started from the bottom, you need everything to go correct. But if you hit the ball running with already investment, that's why you get your investment legs up under you, and you know how to navigate, especially in foreign countries, which a lot of Black Americans don't have experience in. That's all I'm saying, my brother. So two things can be right at the same time. Go ahead and continue. I pass the mic back to you.
I do understand what you're talking about, but you have to understand that Pan-Africanism is more than commerce. International commerce is what it is. You get what I'm saying? We all gotta eat. And when it comes to money, we don't see color. It's just the principle. You get what I'm saying? I gotta take that money back to my Black folks. You know, they gotta buy that Cadillac and they gotta buy that Ashoki. You get what I'm saying? So I do agree on, with you on that perspective. But in order for us to get there, to be able to do that as a collective, you get what I'm saying? Whereby we can use that money that we gain from that. Even Marcus Garvey met with the KKK leaders. You get what I'm saying? Pan-Africanism is not a stick with its flexibility. It's the how can I say? It's just wanting what is best for your people. So yeah, you might they say keep your enemies close, keep your enemies closer, right? But what we're talking about is more than commerce. Is how do we create our own world, an African world, whereby we see things from our own perspective. So even when we go into that commerce to engage in that activity that you spoke about, we are engaging with it from an Afrocentric perspective. From what is it for my people? Okay, yeah, I gotta do business with this white boy or this existing business that we don't like, or gotta buy stock in this business that we don't like. You know what I'm saying? Because we see it's gonna make us, $50 billion. I don't give a fuck. It's money as long as shit. It's coming back to me. It's coming back to my people. Yeah. But there are also other aspects of Pan-Africanism that we have to embrace, that we have to repair. So talking about, I don't like you, but I'm still doing business with you. We got to be able to get on that, to be able to build a better society for ourselves, our own society. To say, you know what? To be honest, Simplest, I listen to you a lot on Brandon, right? You've told me that I'm emotional too, and I quite think you're very emotional.
But you're emotional in a good way. It's passion. I don't think you're emotional. I think it's passion. Because people say that I'm emotional, but if you hear me talk the same way that I hear you talk now, I see that you're passionate. You're not emotional. You're just passionate. I get it now.
Right. You get what I'm saying? So even today, right, when I saw you, and I'm like, this nigga just gonna be shouting on us like a motherfucker, right? But I always listen to you, right? Because I think this is making sense. It's just that sometimes you just fuck it. Sometimes it's not passion. Sometimes it's emotions. There's nothing wrong with emotions. We are emotional beings. Passion is an emotion.
True.
So now,
As long as it's cosmic, long as it's directed in a healthy way. You get what I'm saying? Like, long as you're not emotional all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're right. It's emotion with my passion, but what I'm saying is I'm straight down the middle with it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fair guy. I'm a straight shooter. You know, like some people in the chat, they were saying that they thought that I drive trucks. Yes, I drive trucks. My trucking business is an international container shipping business. No, I don't drive a boat. You know what I'm saying? I don't drive a train, but I work with CSE, I work with BSE. You get what I'm saying? And on top of that, with me being a convicted felony, I have worked my way up to get me a TWIC card, which a lot of y'all don't know what a TWIC card is.
People work on the ship.
Yeah, I'm just saying for the people in the chat, to work my way up that I can deal with these people because of the way that I set myself. I say this thing on Dinah Show all the time, and he think it's the craziest thing in the world. But when I go into these shipping yards and these shipping people, I sell myself like a prostitute to these folks. You get what I'm saying? I want to let them know that when you look at all these other drivers out here, all these other containers companies out there, you deal with me first. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure
you just
I'll
played the
go.
game, bro. You just played the game.
Listen, Cosmic. That's the weirdest thing in the world that it comes to black people. I tell them I take the same street value, the street hustle I had, and I bring it to the business world. And I'm gonna tell you, all these foreign people, white people, Lebanese, Indian people, when they meet a black person, do you all like one thing I will give black people credit for when they say we already have one strike against us? That is true. They look at us a certain type of way, regardless if it's right or wrong or whatever. It doesn't matter. They're the ones in power. You can never shame the people in power to respect you. Only thing you can do is make them respect you. You get what I'm saying? So when I know that, hold on, let me finish the last part, Cosmic. So when I show up at those shipping yards, I show up before they get there. If I have to spend the night outside the gate, I'm right there in the gate blocking them. So, you know, it's a game that I play with them. So it's a gate that opens up to the shipping yard, to the rail yard in Atlanta that let the high profile people in there. So what I do is to make myself, they don't even understand. I'm promoting my business. They don't even know. I park my truck directly in front of their gate and block it. So when they come knock on my truck to be like, you know, can you move your truck out the way? I'm like, yes, sir. Hey, I'm here. I'm ready to do business. Which one of y'all got freight? Which one of y'all need something done right now? I'm ready to go right now. I'm gonna move my truck over here, you know what I'm saying, so y'all can see me right now. Any of y'all need to contact me, let me know. I'm showing them that I'm here before they here. If they think that their work ethic is better, I'm coming to outwork them. You get what I'm saying? That's what they want to see, because they ain't driving no truck. They ain't putting them containers they ain't watching them containers get on their ship. And then on top of that, when I get ready to get my truck on get my containers on the train or the ship, I ask the customer, I'm like, how would you want your container to sit? Do you want it high level? Do you want it in the middle? Do you want it at the bottom so it can be easily put out? I ask them questions that normal people don't even ask, because I sit up there and watch them. I sit up there and see how they talk. I see how they talk about, all you got to do is go to them type of people and find out how they lose money. And you go to them and you present something to show them how they can gain money. Right there and now, that piques their interest. And after that, you sell yourself like a prostitute, and therefore they're telling other people about you. But what I'm saying is that it's hard to get fellow people to operate like that. So my business is a one-man show, and I do not like that, Cosmic. I wish that I can hire 3-4 people that have the same work ethic that I have, but I'm gonna end up hiring somebody that don't look like me. And before I hire, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how pro-black I am. Before I hire somebody that don't look like me, that has the same work ethic that I have, I'd rather do the business by myself. And I pass the mic.
I mean, so everything you said right now is very sensible, right? And that's the reason why I'm also saying what I've been saying. I'm saying that I agree with you that, you know, you got to play the game, but I'm saying after a while, you got to get tired of playing the game that way, because then there are other people who just getting it easily. They're not looking for no ticket. They just they're getting it easy. So I'm saying, let's find a way to build an economy whereby you work less and make 3 times more. Let's build. You are African American. I am African. I know better now. I know I made a mistake selling slaves. I should have sold something else. I should have sold my cotton. I should have sold my other natural resources that I had, right? So I'm saying, let us build a bridge that we have our own world. I'm not saying you should stop doing what you're doing. Keep doing it. But I'm saying at some point, we'll have to build our own world, a bridge. Imagine a long bridge from, let me see, where's the port that has a lot of Black Americans in it? That has, I don't know, a port that has a water area, right, that has a lot of Black American population. And let's just imagine a long bridge from there.
I'm guessing Savannah.
Savannah Port. It's like right there by Jacksonville in Florida. So that it would be that port right there.
Right. So let's imagine a long ass fucking bridge that we built because we are able, because we are organized, because we are now powerful. So now we too can say, you know what? This is our imagination. This is what my African mind is projecting. I don't need the authority of the white man to build in this world. So imagine a long ass bridge from Savannah to Lagos, from Savannah to fucking 80, from 80 to Colombia, Black Colombia, from Black Colombia to Ethiopia, back to Brazil, Baja. And that logistic that you're talking about, you tell that nigga, fuck you. I don't have to beg you for shit.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'll let it slip. We can't use the N-word.
Okay, my bad.
I had to let it slip. We can't use the N-word. Thank you.
All right. Okay, say, you know what? Forget you. I got my own economy now. I'm making 3 times more working half the time. So that's got to be our projection. That's what, as Pan-Africans, that has got to be in our imagination. How do we build for ourselves? How do we protect what we build? Never build what you can't protect. So first, how do we organize ourselves? But first, we must organize ourselves financially, economically. We must create our own corporation. The United States is a corporation. The United States has its treaty to do business on this land. Every other country has corporation that they move around the world with.
I agree with that.
You said what?
I'm saying I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? So, but we have to finance our own dreams. So right now, okay, for example, $1 is 1,300 naira. So
that's the same thing I said. That's the same thing I said. So go ahead, continue.
You telling me that right now we can't, in the next 1 month, get about $200,000, create a trust account, and transfer it to a Nigerian bank account, and that's going to be about how much? $200,000 is going to be about maybe 100 million naira.
Cosmic, you're preaching to the choir, my brother. We got brothers like Philip in here. You know what I'm saying? Very sharp mind. And we got my nephew Al up in here. You know what I'm saying? We got people that we've been preaching this for the longest. It hurts me to my heart that I have to be an individualist when it comes to, supporting the cause. You get what I'm saying? See, the problem is in Black America, Cosmic, that Black people that run business here, we're the CEO, we're the CFO, we're the janitor, we're the person behind the cash register, we're the Uber Eats driver, we're everything to the business. We don't delegate because we don't have a system in play. We don't have a CFO. We don't have a regional director. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, even when we're promoting strategy, we have people that don't really understand strategy to certain levels. Like when Mr. Phillip get to talking about intellect and legal boundaries, I don't even comment. I don't have anything to say because that's his area. But that's not how black people are. You'll have black people that listen, and believe me, I'm not apologist. You know, this ain't Dynast talking, this is me talking. If I'm not smart enough to know what the person is talking to, I don't have an emotional argument. Yes, black people, we have to learn to shut up and let the smart people be smart. You get what I'm saying? We have to let the warriors be warriors. You get what I'm saying? And then we got
Let me say something real quick. Let me say something real
hold on,
quick.
this is the last part. And then we got
and then I'm gonna pass to Festus. Go ahead, Simple.
and then we got females involved. We need to let the females operate where their strength is, not be all over the place in other business. I'm not gonna even put the title man business. I'm talking about have the people to if we had a system where we have the people in play. But goddamn, Philip can't be over here talking to me about logistics. You get what I'm saying? Now I want to be able to bring my contracts to Philip to look at. But when it comes to the logistic parts of it, that's my job to handle. I'm not having that discussion with nobody else that's talking about nothing because they have an opinion. See, that's the difference between the organization is the delegate position. And if Dynast handling if he's the spokesperson, if Dynast handling the customer service for the tourism, taking people around, I ain't got nothing to say about that out in public. That is a decision that we make in the house when we having the meetings, that we make suggestions. But the thing about it is black people, we always testing people knowledge and testing people because based on a decision. Mr. Phillip ain't got to be 100% right, but even if he's 70% right, he's still smarter than me, and I'm just gonna shut up and let him say what he got to say. And I pass the mic.
Let me say this real quick.
I gotta pass.
Complementing.
I gotta pass the mic because we have to shut down soon. Festus, go ahead, Festus.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask a quick question. I just got on YouTube now. So I read, Nigerian man is sad that African Americans aren't investing in Nigeria. Is this a topic of discussion today?
Yeah, man, it's the topic.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I was born and raised in Nigeria, and I've done I'm in the US now. From like a numerical point of view, I don't necessarily think Nigeria might need African American investment because we have a lot of Nigerians in the diaspora who can actually do that. Are we doing that? I don't think so. I think if we have to like fast forward to maybe like 1,000 years in the future, and if future human beings look back at this, 2024, and they'll see how much Nigerians have actually prospered in the US and in the UK, they would say to us that we haven't achieved nothing. We have a bunch of educated Nigerians in the UK, US, making a lot of money, but we haven't actually galvanized ourselves to invest back home, to deal with the corruption that we have in Nigeria, and to create some sort of like enlightenment amongst our people to stop doing certain things that they're actually used to. So I think in the Nigerian community, we have a lot of work that we have to do for ourselves. Just like the African American, it's sort of like a black thing, really. The way blacks in the US have actually been marginalized for so long, and we tend to underestimate the power of racism, white supremacists. So what keeps black people down as permanent underclass in the US is the same thing that keeps most African countries down globally. You may not know that our leaders actually get disrespected whenever they go to the UK, France, US. So they know what racism is, but they've also decided to stoop low and not actually get the work done to build a utopia for black people. Because African Americans might actually say, okay, white people actually, they created this country. They built the US up on the backs and blood and sweat of African Americans. But we Africans, we have our country, and we haven't actually done anything, to build our nation to be strong, to be great, to be feared and respected. So the joke is on us, because when I first came to the US 2006, in high school and then in college, me and a few other Nigerians who I can speak from my own experience, there was this sort of like contempt that I had for black folks, thinking they were lazy and gangster and prison and whatnot. But as I started to get older and I started to read a lot of books, I started to understand what created that system that keeps blacks as permanent underclass. And I keep reading also about like the situations in Africa. And to my understanding, Nigeria is not a country that has its independence. We think we have independence, but we don't. We are still a British colony. If people actually read books, if they read a lot of books, they'll realize we have like a false identity. Like this country, Nigeria, wasn't actually our own creation. It was named by a British lady. Maybe
listen, we gotta move past that. I understand the British lady, her husband was a general in Nigeria means, excuse my language, nigga area. Like, we gotta move past that. It's done. Like, it's done.
Dennis, let me ask something.
Go ahead.
Don't you think Nigeria should change his name? Should start there. What do you think about that?
I think it's water under a bridge. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, we got to move on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking that. I was talking as far as name.
I don't mind, but if it does, it does. If Nigeria decides to, it decides to. If it doesn't, then it doesn't affect what we have to do or what I have to do as a Nigerian in Nigeria.
Yeah, I understand.
That's why when we get to the history and the British drew the borders and all, and it's just okay.
It's done already. It's done already.
My argument is not about the history. The fact of the bottom is Nigeria is not a country that can work. I'm Nigerian. I have family members in Nigeria.
We got to move on. Go ahead, Al.
Thank you, brother. Uncle Dynast, Uncle Sim, absolutely brilliant. You nailed it, because the kind of capitalism, the kind of mindset I have, is exactly what you just explained, Uncle Sim. Pan-African capitalism, and a lot of the Africans, Pan-African, they're always going on about this Pan-African socialism, quite similar to what Cosmic was trying to explain. We tried it, years after years. We can try in Africa, we can try outside the continent, it will not work, it's not sustainable, because, we live in a global world. These corporations that we see around the world today, they dictate a lot of the policies, including immigration, in fact, and also in terms of the African, the Nigerian brother that, seeking African Americans to come to Nigeria. No, I think African Americans should return back to Liberia and start building Liberia, and come to Sierra Leone and start building Sierra Leone.
There is no economy in Liberia.
Exactly. This should okay.
What are you talking about?
Liberia had a great economy, right? They had a great economy years ago, right before the war. You cannot deny that Sierra Leone had a great economy.
It doesn't matter. Liberia economy will never.
Stop, my brother. Let me just finish and come in after, all right? These two countries, Liberia and Sierra Leone. Don't take my word for it. I don't know how old you are, but you can ask, the Nigerian elders, the Ghanaian elders. These were the two countries they used to come and educate themselves and earn money and go back to Nigeria. This goes to a lot of West African countries. The only country in West Africa that used to match Liberia and Sierra Leone was Ivory Coast. That's it. You understand? They might be small countries, but Liberia used to be quite sophisticated. And if the African Americans, with their spending power that they have in the world, with maybe Brother Philip, that's more, more knowledgeable, can come into this. If they can actually come into Liberia again, that's their land, and start building from there, then they can actually start working with the other countries in the continent, in West Africa. But until then, I cannot see them go to to Nigeria, and maybe they might do.
I disagree. I disagree. I really, really disagree with everything you said, because I think.
Okay, but we got to pass it to Philip.
But I got to reply.
Go ahead,
I got to reply to what he said.
Okay.
Go ahead, Al.
Okay, so basically that's what I think. You could start with Liberia, Sierra Leone, then you can start working with Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and so on, because you need a ground. Like in Nigeria, they already have industries that set up. In Nigeria, they will get swallowed up. Because if you're gonna have a massive amount of African Americans coming into Nigeria, you're looking at like billions and billions poured in, which I don't.
Are you Nigerian, AL?
No, I am not. I am not Nigerian, but I'm just speaking based on the fact and historical fact.
There's no fact here.
There are different factors also that would. I know you like to promote Nigeria. That's where you're from. I understand.
No, this is not about promoting.
No, I'm telling you the fact is Liberia. Okay, let me just finish. Okay, African Americans been to Ghana recently. Things did not turn out well for them over there. They went to Gambia. Things did not turn out well for them over there. They skipped their land where it's called Liberia, where it used to be their homeland. It's still their homeland, and Sierra Leone next door, and went to this country and actually increase the revenue in those countries and ignore Liberia and Sierra Leone, which I think was a big mistake. This year of return that they had, for example, if that was in Liberia, they start rebuilding Liberia and Sierra Leone again, it would have been totally different. Those two countries would have been transformed, and then you can have connection to Ivory Coast and Ghana and Nigeria moving forward. That's what I think. That's my take on it. You can disagree with me. That's fine. We're here to do that.
I mean, this particular one, I don't disagree. I think Black Americans should go to Nigeria because it's not only economics. It's also immersing yourself in the political aspect of Nigeria too. You get what I'm saying? Because if you can move the political party in Nigeria, you can move Africa and you can do anything in the world. You get what I'm saying? But what I would like to rebut is the idea that African capitalism is not going to work. The reason why African capitalism did not work before was because it was not African capitalism. It was Black people doing capitalism the European way.
Yeah, that's what Pan-African.
Hold on, hey guys, we could do a separate show on that, Cosmo. That's actually good. Send me an email. Let me pass it to Philip because I have to go soon. Yes. So go ahead, Philip.
Greetings, panel. It's good to see you all. Dynast, another tremendous topic. This is the kind of stuff we really need to focus on and drill down on. So thank you for doing this topic.
No problem. Thank you.
I'm just going to come in and say a couple of things real quick. But before I even get to that, I saw Simply dropped off, and I was going to suggest to him, if he's still listening, to do a online video course of some of the pathway that he took from his process in the judicial system where he got his felony to getting into trucking. And, he can break that into however many classes and put that online, and that would actually be a service.
Great idea.
Huh?
Great idea.
Yeah, I wanted to throw that to him if he's still listening, or if he listens to this later, because it would be a service, and he actually just described a blueprint that a lot of people could benefit from. So I wanted to say that to him. What I wanted to say is Cosmic Chaos really laid out a thoughtful way forward. One of the frustrations that I've had in some of these spaces is we have so much cynicism and negativity about trying to just get money together. I don't necessarily subscribe to a philosophy about it, other than it would be helpful if we can get together as Blacks and make money. And you can call that whatever you want to call it, So I think we kind of get lost in philosophy when it's just something very simple. You're Black, I'm Black. If you're a good business person and I'm a good business person, let's try to do business together so we can do better business at a higher level. And in that thinking, to Dynast's topic, I wanted to say something about what I'm noticing about Nigeria presently, which is that it seems to me they are still in part of the frame from the structural adjustments that they did in the 70s to try to lure investment. Specifically, for some reason, the leadership there continues to borrow money from the IMF and continues to try to court foreign investment when they know that the Europeans are never going to open up their book of currencies to Nigeria that the way that they did in Asia. That's not a realistic target. So why would you continue to do these austerity measures and borrowing when you're not generating enough GDP to pay it back in a way that doesn't require you to cut things from the public, right?
Can I respond to that?
Exactly.
Well, hold on.
Let him finish, please. Thank you.
Let me finish. And what I'm trying to say is this. I did this type of work in Asia, of luring foreign investment. Specifically, I did it in Vietnam. And if you look at Vietnam now, that it's one of the top beneficiaries of the COVID period, even over China. And how they built their economy to now where they're doing electric cars and all kinds. At that time, when I was working with them, they were doing tennis shoes and cell phones. They specifically had a Nike plant, and they had Ericsson phone and a couple of other Swedish brands of cell phone. They were at the lowest level. They had a D plus bond rating. And now they're one of the top surging economies in Asia. And how they did it was they had a consistent set of policies and free trade zones to allow foreign investment to be made. And then on the back end, just like China, they had a mentality that they encouraged of reverse engineering everything that came into that country to make it for the local market. And on the Black American side, that I want to say we are constantly looking at the American government to try to assist us to do trade and economic work when they have consistently shown that, at least in this regard, that they're not going to scale us up so that we can compete with their businesses. Meaning, there will not be a day where a Black American equivalent of Amazon is going to compete with Amazon. That's not going to happen. So if that is the case, and I think that it is, then why shouldn't we be working with the places that we came from to try to build those kinds of businesses? That's what all the other groups do, but for some reason, we refuse to do it. So we need it on both sides. And I just, Cosmic dropped off, but he at least was laying a blueprint of how we can move this forward. So I'm going to throw that there, and I'll let the panel respond.
Yeah. Do you think Liberia would have been the first point of entry, for the year of return, to the continent? And do you think, Liberia will be actually African American actually starting up these things in Liberia, taking over the economy again, would actually have more impact than them going to Nigeria?
Let me say this, Al, and I see the logic that you're making, which theoretically is a good one. I don't blame you for thinking that. But let me just throw some things to you, not necessarily about Sierra Leone, but about Liberia.
And Sierra Leone.
Not because there's a distinction that I need to make, and yes. I'm responding to your comment.
Yes.
Okay. Let me first say this so that you understand my frame. We never get stronger by getting smaller. So in other words, by shrinking into smaller groups in the United States, or shrinking Nigeria into pieces, we never get stronger, we get weaker. And so it's with that frame that I come to Liberia, because unfortunately, Liberia has our constitution. It has an older form of it.
Right.
And if you look at all of the countries that were former colonies or colony adjacent part of the American Commonwealth that have the US Constitution, they fail. And the reason why is because our Constitution, the way that it's constructed, you need to have a vibrant middle class that has access to its courts and laws for that type of tripartite system to work. And in most of these other countries, and now the United States as its middle class shrinks, they only have two classes. They have a elite, wealthy class, and they have basically a working class with a very small middle class. And so what happens is that the elite can run the country because our Constitution tends to lean towards monopoly. And it was built that way by design. I could go into it, but I won't. And so this is a problem in terms of building economically there. If you recall that Robert Johnson, former owner of BET,
yes,
built a big resort area in Liberia.
Okay.
And what looks like happened there was that the local people, the way that the land was acquired, were not 100% on board to build from his big resort out other businesses. There was a conflict there. Okay. And part of how that happened and why I bring it up is because of how the laws work in Liberia, that he was able to come from the top down. He was on the board of, I forget what the airline is, US Airways, I want to say. And so he was able to get Delta to fly straight into Monrovia again. And he was able to get this land through the top down. I forget who the president was when he did that. But the local people didn't buy in. And because of the way that the laws work there, yes, the resort still stands, but it didn't turn out to be the building anchor that it should have been. And that's a structural problem that Liberia has. I believe one of the Jackson brothers, I want to say Jermaine, also built a resort or a hotel in Liberia, and it had limited success. What I'm trying to get at is this, that I support people going to Liberia and trying to build there, no shade to Liberia. But if you're going to do it, you have to have a process by which you build from the bottom up as well as from the top down. Right. And this is the mistake. So that takes a lot of money. You can see, I mean, very few Black Americans have the kind of money that Robert Johnson had after he sold BET to Viacom. But that's the kind of money that you need to set up the kind of system that I'm describing in Vietnam, or to set it up in Nigeria. Nigeria is more able to do it than Liberia is right now, because it takes a lot of reforms. What I would lean towards, to your point, Al, because I don't want to dismiss what you're saying, is to try to set up a regional economy between Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and the various Western African countries of inter-African trade. So you have a supply chain between Nigeria, Liberia, and Sierra Leone of business.
Yes.
And to go that way, and for Black Americans to try to go that way. So for example, if I incorporate my business in Nigeria, but I get some of my supplies from Liberia, I think that could work.
Can I get 30 seconds?
I'm sorry, let me just respond.
Delaware, get 30 seconds, then we're closing out. Go ahead, Delaware.
Okay. Al, I understand what you're saying, and I love Liberia. I love Sierra Leone. My stepsister aunt is married to the now ex-president. So that's how much I know about Nigeria. But Liberia.
Sierra Leone.
Liberia. No, Liberia. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It has to be Nigeria.
Okay.
White America, the power structure does not want African American, especially, to do business with Nigeria. They know if those two entities get together, it's all over for them, and they're going to fight as hell because it's just a matter of when African Americans and Nigerians start doing business with each other on a big scale. Those are the two entities. These are the two entities for the entire Black world. This is what's going to propel the entire Black world. African Americans and Nigerians. Those are the two that they do not want to get together. And that's what I'm going to say about that. That's it.
Okay, hands up. I lost it by.
I wanted to make a closing statement. I agree with everything you said, Delroy. Is to that point, we can build a super team if Nigeria and Black America and the Caribbean team up with the skill set that we have within those communities. If we expand it further to Black Latin America, it's over. But to just build the super team, if you have Black Americans, the Caribbean Americans, the Caribbeans and the Nigerians on one team with our most talented, we can build that, and we should. And so I want to
exactly. You're absolutely right. We don't even have a flight from the Caribbean to Africa. These are the things that have to work on. We don't not one flight from any of the Caribbean islands.
Yeah. Well, guys, we got to close. I have to go get Master. So everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family.
All right, brother.
Search for Huru. No problem. Peace.
Take care.